It's a Sunday. Tardis Zone is live. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you all in the chat. Good evening. Nice to see you all. Okay, so what are we going to do this evening? Because normally we'd be doing an old watch along, but obviously we took a bit of a break. We did do the movie, the Peter Cushing movie yesterday. I did have a trailer for Series 3, David Tennant's second season, to throw up on YouTube. Unfortunately, the trailer was blocked worldwide, so I can't throw a trailer up on YouTube. The funny thing is, though, is the trailer was allowed to stay up on Twitter, but YouTube seems to have a problem with it. So I'm sorry about that. We'll see if we can get you... because I actually had a great little trailer for you, and if you have seen it on Twitter, I did, me best. As you know, that's all I can do is me best. But some interesting news coming to us about the BBC. So yesterday, apparently, there was a big march or a big protest. I'm going to be showing you a brief little clip in a few minutes. I've also put that clip up on Facebook, on YouTube, and I've also given my 2 cents on it as well. I've actually spoke on the little video. It's about a 2-minute video. People were saying that they'd rather hear me talk than actually put up the writing. I did put up a bit of writing as well, but I'm talking on the video. And you will see people say, take down the BBC, take down the BBC. That was the chant from the people at Trafalgar Square, protesting, massive protest. BBC is, listen, forget about Doctor Who, forget about everything that's going on with its TV shows and all of that. The BBC itself as an organisation is unfit for purpose. It has to move with the times, and also with all the stuff that they the political agenda that they actually do have, it's killing the national broadcaster. BBC have, I've never seen that in the like. BBC, how come it wasn't on the BBC? Well, BBC are hardly going to, in fairness, Emma, I don't think BBC are going to actually put up footage of a protest, but I am going to actually put up the footage. That's the difference. See, on this channel, if I do have the evidence to put up, I will put up the evidence. So I will show you this march. You will actually hear from people's mouth say, take down the BBC. I'm not lying. Why would BBC not highlight this? Because it's about their own organisation. I don't know if they highlighted it on Sky News or any of those other news channels, but this did happen. Actually, I spoke to someone someone in the comment section was actually there. Now, they said it was for BBC and other stuff, but the BBC, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. So what I'll do is, let me see. No, to be fair, it was a general march against the restrictions, but this chant did happen. Yeah, that's why I'm going to highlight it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that basically they were all there for the BBC. They were there for the restrictions and all of this other stuff. But BBC is part of the problem, and they can see that, and this is why this happened. And it should be highlighted because, if you were to listen to everybody on Twitter, you would think that everything is okay with the BBC and the organisation is doing absolutely fantastically. But that's not That's not the fact of the matter. And also, as I said, when the British public, right, and that's what's happened, the British public have turned on BBC. This is why Doctor Who and other shows like that are suffering, right? It's because people have turned their backs on the BBC, and it doesn't help Doctor Who when they start keeping adding all of the political nonsense that they want to, and all the speeches and the preachy dialogue and all of this other rubbish. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. If BBC were actually making decent programs, they could actually, probably survive this. Their news media is an absolute disgrace anyway. It's one way, it's one-sided, it's not balanced the way it should be. And this is why they're in the position that they're in. Now, Charlotte is right to point out that this was a march basically protesting all of the restrictions. But, the news media, like Sky News, like BBC, and all of those others have been under a lot of scrutinization, and the public have turned on them. I mean, there you go. Emma, you make a good point. It's things like that making the over 75s pay for a TV license. It is things like that. It's absolutely disgraceful. I think in my country, if I'm correct in saying, once you hit retirement age, I don't think you have to pay for a TV license. And in fairness, I think that's the way it should be. If you're retired, you've earned your living, you've paid your dues, you deserve a little bit of compensation, or whatever you want to call it. You deserve that. So yeah, BBC, look, we've been saying this for 2 years, and this is why we've been highly critical of Doctor Who, because then when you see what they're doing, it doesn't help the situation. It adds on to how bad people perceive the BBC, right? And it needs to be, BBC need to go back to what they used to do, which was informing the British public in a balanced manner, and also putting out some great television programs that actually entertain the audience. Listen, if you want to get a message across about climate change or about racism or whatever the issue may be, right? If you don't do it within the confines of the show, then don't do it. Find another program to do it on, or actually make programs that highlight these issues. Don't put them into Doctor Who if you're not going to be able to do them justice. And under Chris Chibnall, unfortunately, I don't believe he has done any of those issues any justice. Now, I know there are fans of Rosa out there. I'm sorry, Rosa was a disgrace. And you could say that you love Rosa and the Demons of Punjab, and say how stunning and brave you all are, and Virtue Signal, all you want, right? Those 2 episodes, if you take them from the standpoint of the history context, they were poorly done. They were poorly done. And imagine having pop music during one of the most iconic moments of the civil rights movement, when a woman was basically, when Rosa sat down on that seat and she was forcibly removed off that bus, right? The new composer decided that a pop song was the right way to go. Little things like that matter to fans, to Doctor Who fans. And this is why they're in the situation that they're in. And you know what? We tried to warn them as fans. We tried to warn them, but we were drowned out by a vocal minority, and it's only a small vocal minority on Twitter. And that's where the damage has been done. They've been listening to everybody on Twitter, but not listening to the general public or listening to the fans of these shows. EastEnders ratings, when it came back, plummeted, right? Top Gear, when it comes back, it will plummet, right? And unfortunately, whether you like it or not, it's going to be the same with Doctor Who. If you think Doctor Who's ratings are going to get a bounce on Christmas, right? Because people, this has nothing got to do with hating Jodie Whittaker. Some people out there think that, we won't watch the show because we hate Jodie Whittaker. It's nothing got to do with hating Jodie Whittaker. I actually don't hate the woman at all. I hate her being in the role because she doesn't do it justice, and I think she's over her head. And also, I don't think she has the writing that she needs to back up anything, and that's down to Chris Chibnall as well. But at the end of the day, this has not got to do with hate. This has got to see the problems out straight. You've got to get them. Listen, you've got to take emotion out of this. It doesn't matter if you're a Jodie Whittaker fan. You've got to look at this as with a cold eye. You've got to look at the show and say, right, these are the problems. This is why Jodie's struggling, right? Why is Jodie struggling? Because of the writing. I would also put in there, people will have different opinions, of course. I don't think she's the right person for the role. I think she's over her head. But if given the right writing, that's the thing. We'll never know because she's never been given good writing. So, listen, this is nothing to do with hating on anybody, right? This is wanting to see the best the best show that we can get. And you know what? I feel, and I will say this, I feel we have been robbed of a female doctor under Chris Chibnall because he hasn't written Jodie Whittaker's doctor like a female doctor, and he hasn't actually written her that well at all. Neither has his team of writing. They've let her completely down. Now, I will add her statements that she has made over these last couple of years haven't helped the situation. Haven't. And the fact that she comes out with certain statements as well doesn't help the situation. But if you're looking at the major problems and where the major problems come from, it comes from Chris Chibnall, the BBC, the way they're run. And unfortunately, we're in this situation now where BBC now are getting attacked from all sides, and it didn't need to be like that. It didn't need to be like this at all. It didn't. All BBC needed to do was listen to the British public, not the people on Twitter. Listen to the British public and they would have been okay. But they didn't. They chose not to, and they chose to pander. And that's what they have done. And I'm sorry if some people are offended by that. They chose to pander to a certain group, certain minorities in the fandom, and they don't care about everybody else. That whole poster Space for All was a load of bull, right? It wasn't Space for All because they don't want fans like me anymore following the show. Fans that buy the merchandise. Fans that have supported this show during its tough times in the late 80s and kept on supporting the show when it was off air, okay? And there's a lot in this chat that support this channel that have also been in the same boat, right? And then to not listen to the people that have kept this show going, right? And to not listen to the British public is an absolute disgrace. And this is why we're in the situation that we're in. And this is just going to get worse for BBC. This is just going to get worse. Tim Davie is in there now. I will say, as Lee said, let's give him time. Let's see what happens. I have me doubts, highly have me doubts that he's going to be able to make the necessary changes that I would like to see happen. And a lot of us would like to see happen. He might make some changes, but I don't think overall much is going to change. But let's hope he proves me wrong. Let's hope he proves me wrong. But it's a dire situation with the BBC right now, and it's a BBC is like everything else. It's a British institution. It's actually sad to see that this big broadcasting juggernaut, which it used to be, is now a laughing stock. It's become a joke. It's become a joke. And listen, this is the thing, and I think this went over a few Jodie Whittaker people's heads. I just want to say their biggest soap is obviously EastEnders. Now, granted, the ratings have been on the decline the last couple of years, and they've brought in different executive producers and writers to try jazz up the show, right? But it was still maintaining good enough ratings for them to keep the show going. When it came back, it plummeted, right? And it wasn't because the writing is bad, because we actually watched it. There's a storyline on it now, which is actually very interesting. Like the writing doesn't seem to have, it looks like it's improved anyway from the last time I seen it when it was struggling. And I thought, okay, this is not actually bad, but nobody was watching. And it wasn't because of EastEnders is crap, right? Listen, EastEnders has gone on for decades. If you watched EastEnders in the 80s, there's more than a chance that you're still watching it today, right? Not many, but my mum and dad used to watch it, don't watch it anymore. That was a big thing in their house, the omnibus on a Sunday. We'd sit down, have our dinner, and watch EastEnders. That was us as kids, right? Even that show is struggling, and that show has been up and down in the ratings, but has never gotten this low. So BBC is in trouble, and Top Gear is about to come back, and I don't see. Oh my god, I don't see Top Gear doing great either. And it's sad. Listen, I don't want Doctor Who to go away. I don't even want the BBC to go away. None of us do. But BBC need to change their attitude. They need to start listening to the people that made the BBC the broadcasting juggernaut that they are, the British public. Soon as you start listening to a small group or a small minority of people, that's when you divide people. That's when you turn people off your stuff. And that's what's happened, right? They talk about togetherness, but in fairness, it's all about dividing people. Right. I'm going to bring on some guests, but give me just 2 seconds. I have to check something real quick. Just give us 2 seconds. Hold on. Yeah. Right, we'll bring on me guests. I'll let them have their say. And then, I'm not, we only do it for the Tardis Zone talks. I throw the link in the chat, right? That's just for the Tardis Zone talks. But if you want to join me for a panel now, we'll go for another hour. Let me know and I will send you the link. But listen, it might be all doom and gloom right now, but I can tell you one thing, BBC can still rectify this. They can still rectify this. All they need to do is start showing that they're willing to change. Now, when I see high-profile sackings of Sue Barker and Andrew Neil, it doesn't give me much optimism. But, you know, if they start making decisions like the decisions that need to be made with TV shows like Doctor Who and stuff, and I honestly do believe that BBC should go cap in hand to Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and the Hamster, and bring them back to Top Gear. Top Gear hasn't been the same, and I know they're the thing that they did on Amazon Prime. What was it called again? What was it called again? I watched it and all. Well, anyway, that show was finished up. The tour what was it? The Grand Tour. The Grand Tour. Yeah, right. That was very good. Yeah, but I think they've stopped doing that now or something, or they announced that was finishing up. They should definitely go back and bring them back. If you want to save Top Gear, that's how you save Top Gear. If you want to save Doctor Who, you know what to do. They know what to do. Listen, you want to save Top Gear, you bring back the 3 original presenters. If you want to save Doctor Who, you go back to the old formula, right? And you know what that means. So if you'd like to come on, let me know if you're coming on. I already know one person that is coming on. If you want to come on the panel, it's a panel now. If you want to come on the panel, let me know. I'm about to bring a few guests on now anyway. Well, I've got one definitely coming on. Oh, and I have something, a little surprise for you later. So we, as you know, we do the Tardis Zone talks every Friday. And we've got a nice new little, thanks to Lee, we've got a nice, which I'll show you later on, obviously. I'm not going to show you on this because I won't do it justice. But we've got a nice, lovely little trailer now, little intro for the Tardis Zone talks every Friday. So don't forget. Listen, I'm making a big. It seems to be going well. Those streams, the Tardis Zone Talks ones, are doing very, very well. Remember, if you're on Twitter, don't forget to use the hashtag the Tardis Zone Talks. We want to try get as many people from both sides of the fandom or any side to come on. That invitation is opened up to Jodie Whittaker fans as well. If you want to come on and discuss the topics that we're talking about, or you want to talk about your love of Jodie Whittaker and your love of the series, you can. Once you're civilized, I don't mind. Listen, I said this already. This is open to everybody, right? Including Jodie Whittaker fans. So if you want to come on and talk and if you're civilized, obviously I'll be civil back. As soon as you get into nonsense, I'll just remove you from the stream anyway. It doesn't matter. So we won't be taking any carry on. But you're more than welcome to come on and give your opinion. Because I always say that channels like ours, and listen, it's a lie anyway. I've invited on plenty of people from the other side. Everybody in the chat will tell you, and they never ever decide to come on. But this is an open forum on a Friday. Tardis Zone Talks. So hashtag the Tardis Zone Talks. Get it out there. Let people know, because I want to try get as many people. And by the way, every single stream so far has done very, very well. It seems to be a format that everybody seems to be enjoying. I've put the Tardis Zone Talks all in a playlist on YouTube. So if you've missed any of them, they're all in the one place in a playlist. Go and check them out. I have to be honest with you. I'm really, really, really enjoying this. But it would be nice to see a few more Jodie Whittaker fans come on and have you, as I say. You know, I am accused of being this bully and being this, that, and the other. And that is not true. Listen, I said it last night and I'll say it again. There's a false narrative. What you'll notice is that accounts like that other account that's out there, that screenshots, only show you the tweets that they want you to see, right? They don't show you our whole profiles, do they? They don't show you our whole videos or anything like that, right? They only show you little snippets to twist it to make it sound like you're worse than what you actually are. Now, if Jodie Whittaker supporters actually sat down and listened to a stream of mine, I don't always rant and rave. That is not me. This is me. This is the Tardis Zone. This is what we do, right? We discuss the issues that are out there. People mightn't like my opinions. That's why it's important that other people come on and give their opinions, so we have a bit of balance. So, again, I'm going to ask you again, is there anybody in the chat? I have sent that email to you, lad. You know who I'm talking about. If you want to come on, let me know. Let me know. I changed my opinion on you. Don't worry, says Emma. Yeah. And Emma, I know you have asked to come on the Tardis Zone Talks on Friday. You're more than welcome to come on. As I said, I mean, we had Andrew Jones on. I've actually had him on 2 or 3 times, and then I seen that he bashed me on Twitter. So that's not going to work either, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that's what Jodie Whittaker fans are all going to do, but if I bring you on, at least have the decency to acknowledge that I brought you on and not bash me on Twitter because someone's put up a tweet. By the way, Emma did put up a tweet to actually defend me, and a certain account out there that we've all had a run-in with, the one that actually bullied Starry, turned around. Now, she misspelled the word, so she was supposed to put condemned, but she put up condoned. So I did a video, as you know, on the Jodie Whittaker stuff, the vile stuff that was said about our character, about that she should be put in a situation where she's sexually harassed, sexually assaulted, right? And I criticized that. But of course, because she spelled the word wrong and it was a genuine accident, because if you read the rest of the tweet, you can clearly see she's defending me. And then, of course, he writes up, also, he's condoning rape. That's how vile they are, right? The tweet actually clearly says, and you'll see it's up on me page, you can clearly see that she's trying to say condemn, right? And he says, no, condone. And now, obviously, then, of course, because people now are going crazy. So I retweeted, and I hope Emma doesn't mind, but I took a screenshot of the tweet, and I put up his response, and I called him out. I said she didn't say that. She said she meant to say condemn, not condone. So don't twist the pipe down. Idiots. I mean, yeah, and here's the thing though. Emma is actually, and I want to say this about Emma, and thanks for being in the chat, Emma. Emma could receive some backlash for this off the Whittaker fan, the other Whittaker fans, because she's willing to listen, because she's willing to actually not believe all of the stuff that she's being told, and that's wrong. I've noticed that as well. There's a couple of people, Lee will actually tell you this as well. There's a couple of people that we've talked behind the scenes that actually agree with me, but publicly won't. And they actually believe what's happening to me is wrong, right? But they won't come out because they're afraid to say stuff. Because people like Emma, when they come out and try to say something good about me, always end up being either attacked by their own fans, basically, for standing up for me or for defending me. I'm not this person everybody makes me out to be. Anybody that knows me since I started this channel knows that I'm not any of that stuff. And thanks be to God, Twitter had the common sense. I know it was a glitch, but I'm glad me account got back. And thanks be to God, YouTube has the common sense to see as well, because there are processes in place. I mean, imagine being that sad of a bloke that you would go on your Twitter and ask people, and then go onto my YouTube channel and say, I'm reporting you because you're saying bad things about Jodie Whittaker. She's an actress. I criticize her acting. Yeah? Just like I'd criticize any male actor. I'm a critic. That's what I do. Right. Anybody else want to come on besides the person? Because, sorry, I've been chatting away, so you have probably said yeah. So is there anybody that wants to pop in? Let me know and we can talk. Emma, I'll bring you on for Friday on the Tardis Zone Talks, because it's a bit more relaxed, and it'll give you a week to build up the courage, because I know it can be quite nerve-wracking. And don't worry, if you watch me interview with Andrew Jones, you will see that I treat everybody with respect, right? So you'll be treated with respect, and you will also look, you'll be treated like every other guest on this channel. Doesn't matter who you are, okay? I treat me guests with respect. If they start getting snotty with me, I'll just remove people. It's as simple as that. No problem. I'm gonna send you that link. Who am I to send it to? Gary, isn't it? Gary, did you send me an email? I'll tell you what, look, I'll just throw it in, but just the people. Now listen, this is not a I don't want the big huge panel, right? Because we'll go on for hours. I've got a dinner in the oven, and I have to feed the wife, or she's gonna bleed and kill me, man. Where's oh Jesus? I'm not messing up. Right, I'm gonna bring Lee on because I have to refresh because I'm in. Actually, Lee, do me a favor, because you're there in the background. Put the link to this stream in the chat. So, because Gary Hewitt wants to join us, and Charlotte, if you want to pop on as well, come on. And if Daniel is there as well, why not? We'll discuss all of this as well, because it is very interesting. I mean, it's there. It's in the link description. Right, I'm going to start bringing on my guests because I'm pretty sure once the link has gone in, people will start joining. Right, let's bring them on. As I said, if you're looking for some paid work, I'm not going to do a stupid little intro, right? I'm just going to be serious here for a minute. But if you're looking for some paid work, if you're looking for someone to do some work for you on your channel, rebrand your channel and stuff, and you're looking for, say, intro videos or some thumbnails or anything like that, this is the guy to go to. He actually did the trailer that you've probably seen at the start if you joined me. He did that. And I will be showing you another one later on YouTube that he's just did me for Friday nights, by the way, for the Tardis Zone talk. So I'm looking forward to throwing that up for you later on. I'd show you here, but it's not going to do it justice, and I'm not going to do that to his work. It deserves to be seen the way it should be seen. So it's the one and only, a friend of mine as well, and I have to be honest, love this guy. Always has me back, and he's still on the Twitter naughty step. You know, damn you, Shatner.
Yeah, hello.
If you defended Shatner, if you didn't defend Shatner, you'd still be here.
Right.
How are you anyway?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Right, let's get the rest of our guests on because we have another 3 more guests. Right, he's come all the way from Scarrow, yeah, and he's settled his roots in Scotland. It's the one and the only Scottish Davros.
Hello.
Hello, Daniel.
You doing tonight? You good?
He's good. We're all good. You good?
Brilliant. Right, let's move on. Sorry, I just seen Cheryl flick the TV there and I realised she was flicking the blue bottle. I was like, what's she flicking the TV for?
So she's not hitting the bottle.
No, not the bottle. Right, let's bring her on. She normally streams with Daniel, so we're still trying to figure out who the sidekick in this friendship is. But I'm sure she'd be able to shed some light on it, and of course she joins us for the classic Who watch-alongs as well. It's the one and the only Charlotte.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, I also have a title as well that Daniel's given me.
Oh, what is that?
What is it, Daniel?
Well, Charlotte's now my producer and my manager for my channel. So like,
Wow,
half of the
wow, you've gone up in the world, haven't you?
The new Lady Gravemaster.
half of the suggestions come from Charlotte.
Well, in fairness, people have been telling me for ages I probably need a producer, but I can't be arsed. I like to be hands-on. But fair play to you. Well, welcome, producer Charlotte. Have you here? So, right, let's bring him on. He's been on obviously he's been on the Tardis Zone talks. It's great to see him back on a panel, actually. And it's the one and the only Gary Hewitt.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on now. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Gary.
Listen, I've got all my friends here. What more could I ask for? So how are you? How you all doing?
Yeah, good.
Right, listen, all right, I will show you that video, actually, before we start, because I've got you all in here now. So as Charlotte did rightly point out, this was a general protest, but BBC obviously was brought into it. Now, I did actually put up on me because I didn't know that. So I might have to change the video on YouTube because I will be criticised because you get people that are sticklers about that.
Yeah, I doubt you'll get millions of, more thousands of people gathering in Trafalgar Square to protest the BBC. But yeah, obviously, clearly, it is a massive talking point, and it is a focus of a lot of ire and anger, and quite rightly so.
No, it was important. Like, it was a general march. I think there was one last weekend that are just basically against all the restrictions. But it is very.
Hold your Ted in the background for just a second. There's I'm gonna mute this, right, so you can talk because there's fireworks going off and I have to calm them down. Yeah. So
all right, no worries. We'll cover for you. We'll vamp. We'll vamp. Charlotte, you were saying.
No, I think last weekend also there was a massive march at Trafalgar, and it's about just how the government's handling things and restrictions in COVID. And I think
it's not very coherent, is it, Charlotte?
No, to be honest, I think it's just a load of people who are just fed up, and they've just got multiple things. And obviously, BBC came up as part of the chant for a bit.
Yeah, definitely. What are your thoughts?
I do think this is telling, because I think for a long time people were just sort of silently taking the treatment from the BBC and the blatant discrimination against if you're not part of the tick box brigade and all of that. And I think this is good, because you can't just say, oh, it's just a few people moaning now. We've literally got video evidence of a massive crowd chanting this.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's quite interesting as well that the BBC have opted not to cover it. No surprises there. But it does seem to smack of a definite growing level of displeasure, a growing level of also emboldenment of the silent majority within this country to actually come out and speak out against what they deem as not representing them. You know, it's quite amusing when the BBC waxes lyrical about representation, yet fails to represent the vast majority of the people of this country. Just to satiate the crazy people on Twitter who are vocal and progressively violent. You know, it's quite amusing to me that they talk about words of violence and all this kind of, oh, you can't say that because yet are so completely vocal and quite happy to support violent acts in order to get their way. What do you think, guys? Let's hear from Gary.
I think we're starting to reach a boiling point, really, to be honest. Thanks to technology, the internet, and everything else, we have access now to information we never had, you know, even 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And people are starting to wake up now to the fact that the BBC, the media, celebrities in general, people are waking up to the fact that they're fake. People are finally smelling the coffee. It's not about them. It's not even about entertainment. All it is narcissism, feeding egos. We have no comprehension how these celebrities live. This the school and the education they're back at. We've got no comprehension how these people have lived, and it's a totally different world to ours. But people have just had enough now, and since the virus and, you know, all these things that are going on, people being furloughed and losing their jobs and everything else, people are beginning to realise now that these celebrities, the BBC and everything, they don't give a monkey about you. You're just a money. You're just a bank for them. You know, the governments, the BBC. You're just a bank. They just take. You get nothing back, and people are just realising that these celebrities don't give a monkeys about them. It's all about their narcissism, feeding their egos, feeding their bank accounts. And you know what? Not one of them are happy. And look, it's us, the people, you know, there's a brilliant song by John Lennon, Working Class Hero. Just go and listen to it if you get a chance. And what he's saying...
Well, the working class have been forgotten, haven't they? They've been vilified by people like the BBC because they realised that they couldn't get Marxism through the back door using class structures anymore. They had to go through the identity market instead. To use groups and not individuals, that's a curse word in their language, but to use groups of people to be used divisively to turn on each other, and people like Common Purpose, who are a secretive organisation within the BBC, who are a charitable organisation, but they operate under secrecy rules, so they don't publish any of their minutes of their meetings, which is also very interesting. But they also train people for leadership roles within the BBC and also within other institutional structures within the UK as well, such as police, the army, even Houses of Parliament, and so on and so forth. Daniel, what about you?
Well, yeah, I do tend to agree with the rest of my fellow panel members. Like, even people that aren't as entrenched in the culture and the culture and the culture and franchise battles, like yeah, for example, like even your average Joes now are starting um to come around to the side. Yeah, all these celebrities have become like narcissists, basically, an ideal of all they're doing is spewing out ideology, and it's not about entertainment anymore, it's about indoctrination as a whole.
It is. It's the BBC is like intellectual colonialism by sort of occupying our brains with this kind of self-important, conceited idea that they are there to educate us or re-educate us, to inform us with what they believe to be the moral right, or moral left, so to speak. And it does seem to me to be rather much a very clear pattern of behavior, and also quite Maoist structures of sort of shaming you into acquiescence. So I think Noel's back and he's got a video for us.
I do. This is the protest out Trafalgar Square, and listen to what the crowd is chanting. Right? I won't say nothing, just listen.
Notice they're not activists, they're just regular people.
Yeah. For some weird reason, my computer is acting weird.
So BBC. See, diverse crowd.
There you go. Down the BBC. Take down the BBC. Yoo-hoo! And you know what? I feel absolutely no sympathy for them because they got themselves in this situation.
Well, they sold the nation down the river. That's it.
Yeah. Anybody else actually on the panel wanna add that? And Gary, how do you feel about all the stuff that's happening now with the BBC, the protests, even the high profile second of Andrew Neil, a political commentator, actually raised a few eyebrows. He's probably one of the best political commentators that's out there anyway.
He's savage against both sides. You know, that's the thing.
They don't want balance.
No, he's an old white man, so he has to go. That's it. That's all there is to it. That's the only reason. And Sue Barker, she clearly doesn't fit the image or the message either. So, you know, maybe she votes the wrong way. Who knows?
Sue Barker took her off a man. And I've always had this thing, and this is my opinion only. Boys should be allowed to play with their toys, girls with their toys. You know, sport is the one thing that links men. Football, rugby, all the masculine type sport. These are the one thing that's left now that unites men. There isn't anything else. Everything else is out the window now. But football, rugby, sport, one thing that unites men, and even that's now taken over by women. I'm of an age where I grew up watching it, and there was a man presenting it. And sorry, I'm 50 years of age. I don't have to change, and I don't want to change. I grew up in an era. The models that were instilled in me and things like that, they're not going to go away. They're ingrained, and you know, teach a child the way it should go, and it won't depart from it. Well, that's how I learned as a child. And
women have their own spaces. Women have their own things that, you know, and I think that's fair enough that men should also have, you know, things within their own remit. I don't see a problem with that.
At the end of the day, it doesn't need to be so confrontational. And this is what I don't understand, that in media nowadays, Doctor Who Doctor Who was never a boys' club or a girls' club. It was a club for if you loved this, if you loved the show, if you loved the character, you watched it. I'm sorry, I never felt as part of this fandom like I shouldn't be belong. I shouldn't be it because I'm female.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
And they're
I think
making it.
It's sorry,
And-
Charlotte, Karen.
I'm just saying, and they're making it now that it's like, oh, now it's for girls, and it never wasn't for girls because of
Exactly.
companions.
That's
for
the
everyone.
point. You're spot on. That is the actual point. All of this rhetoric that Doctor Who somehow wasn't for girls. Are these people mad? Have you not seen the fans over the decades? Look at the cosplayers. Most of them are actually women and little girls.
Just bearing in mind what Whittaker said about Classic Who being made for the white male gaze.
Yeah.
I think that strikes at the heart. I mean, having listened to a fair old bit of Big Finish now, I've noticed a definite pattern here of third wave feminism within the storytelling and within the characters. Like all of the women, like even if they work in a shop, they've got like a PhD. You know, it's just this constant ramming down your throat and reaffirmation of tropes, these feminist tropes. And I think it's embarrassing. But I think what it stems from is this perception that Doctor Who used to be a bit of a boys' club, a bit of a boys' fan thing. So they felt that they had to come in, that they had to turn it upside down, they had to cuck the Doctor, they had to make the Doctor a woman, they had to do all these things because it was perceived by them to be problematic. Which is not the case because, as Charlotte says, you know, it's for everybody, and people grew up. If it was perceived that way, I'm sorry, that's your perception problem, not ours.
Exactly. That's exactly it's nail on the head right there. It's their perception of it, and always has been. Doctor Who has been always for everybody. They made it clear from day one it was a family show.
Well, look at Pertwee's era. I mean, like you had Liz Shaw, you know, you had Sarah Jane Smith, and you know, you had these strong scientific or career women
girls could look up to. Exactly, it's all bull, man. We all know that this rhetoric from Whittaker and you know certain people out there that are within the production team that come out with this stupid rhetoric. We know it's all bull. We know it's bull, but
yeah, but it's especially
a lot of people have bought into it.
It's especially rubbish if you take the modern run into account. Like, I'm not saying Classic didn't have this, but I do find it weird that they're now trying to almost say in the modern run it was like this, and it's like if you look at the stories, the Doctor. About 50% of the time in the modern run, he's not winning. He's not the one in charge.
The first episode was called Rose. It was about the female companion. You know, exactly.
Oh, but she's not the right kind of feminist. You know?
Yeah, well, it stepped up a gear, isn't it? You know,
she's not the right kind of girl that apparently these young women.
She wasn't a scientist.
Yasmin Khan is the type of girl they want you to look up to. A girl that has a job but doesn't actually do her job, that was bullied but wasn't really bullied. You know, you look at Yaz compared to Rose, right? You tell me who you girls in the chat.
I bet most people could say a list of things that they can tell you about Rose. There isn't a list. There isn't a paper small enough to write a list for Mandeep's characters, for Yaz's character. There's nothing we know about her. She's a cop. She doesn't work, and that's it. She stands in the back.
She has a cop. She has a job as a cop. How many times have we actually seen her play a cop in the show?
Look at the first episode she was in, right? She's a cop. This woman crashes through a metal train ceiling, doesn't end up splattered all over the place, and then she takes charge of the situation. And what does Yaz do? She just accepts that she's going to take charge, not Yaz, this doctor person, and doesn't do anything, and she just takes orders. It's like, wow, and she doesn't investigate anything. She's got no. What is she, a traffic cop? I mean,
I don't know. She was she's a trainee or something like that.
No. She's the best cop they've ever had. She was told that, wasn't she, in one of the later episodes in the last series, which are one of the scenes I actually caught because I somehow watched it.
That's all well and good saying she's the greatest copper ever. And it was great if she actually was, and we actually seen it happen, then we could actually believe it. But the fact that you don't see it and there's no character development, this is the whole thing about Chibnall.
How many times could she have leapt into action and and put someone down on the ground and
Exactly, but I want to actually put this point across. They keep saying, you keep slagging Manipka.
She's not believable
because she's a racist. No,
she's not believable.
It's not
That's it.
It's because her character is so weak.
Yet Martha is universally loved by most of this fandom, and yet that's never mentioned.
A perfect example of a doctor that has stagnated. Her character has not changed.
Yeah, because it's not changed because in modern media, for some weird reason, there's this pattern that with female characters, you can't give them faults.
Yeah.
And whatever medium it is, whether it's film, television, book, a character only grows when they get knocked down. When they have those low moments, that's when we root for a character. The Doctor has had that plenty of time. That's the point of the companion at the end of the day. The companion's supposed to be there to call the Doctor out.
Yes.
Because the Doctor is sort of such an old being at this point, and he's probably done so many bad decisions, or he's had to suffer so much.
He's there to ground him.
It depends. The Doctor depends whether the Doctor is made of. Depends on the companion. The companion is supposed to be the moral compass, right? If the Doctor, like for example, in New Who, just to give the newer fans an example of this, the Runaway Bride, in that scene where David Tennant, his Doctor, is basically killing the Arachnoid's kids. He basically blew them up. And Donna basically tells him, enough, you've done. And we all seen what happened when he went further. He actually died in Turn Left. We seen what the consequences of that would have been if Donna hadn't stepped in, being that moral compass to tell him. Because remember, Rose and others, you'd never be alone. You cannot be alone.
No, imagine if it wasn't the 10th Doctor who was killed in that episode, and it was Whittaker's Doctor, right? Think of all the lives that would have been saved if she'd have been killed.
Yeah.
Because the way she's been written is like she gets a shitload of people killed every time. Even the last surviving remnants of humanity in the outer area of the universe. She got them all killed, apart from a bunch, like a handful of them, and she brought them back to the 21st century to live in a TARDIS house in the middle of suburban London somewhere, wherever it was, Sheffield probably, but without any idea of the culture or anything. And so the entire future of humanity is now stuck in 21st century Britain, with no prospects. And that's it. She's just effectively destroyed the future of humanity. It's amazing. And the fact that Chibnall doesn't get that.
And I want to point out to Jodie Whittaker fans, we're not sitting here and complaining about Whittaker all the time. We know she has her flaws.
The writing certainly does not help.
But she does have flaws. But the biggest culprit here, the person that's that has done the most damage is the showrunner himself.
And Piers Wenger for allowing this to happen.
Right? They had an idea, or so-called idea. They've executed it. It hasn't been received well, but they've basically told us to shut the hell up, pull up with it. As long as they're in the job, they're going to do what they want to do. This protest, yes, it was about other things, but you hear the crowd there. You hear the crowd. The tide is turning. It's time for BBC now to take their finger out of their backsides and actually start listening. Take their fingers out of their ears and actually listening to the British public for once.
Well, I think, this all started really with the way Brexit was handled by the BBC and the elections, and then obviously things like Doctor Who, things like Country File saying that the countryside is racist, things like that black and Asian people were completely written out of the history books during the wars. That was a complete lie. They were taken to court over this.
And their historicals having a very multicultural backdrop, and they've come out and said,
Yes.
yeah, we know that's not historically accurate, but we're going to make it look diverse because we want it to.
Yes, and then mocking British history as being racist and stuff in what is effectively a children's history program. I mean, it's outrageous, and I think people are tired of being told that they're bad and they're wicked and they're evil, and you know that they have this privilege and all this nonsense, and it's just like enough.
Yeah, I know. Look,
you're supposed to represent the British people, not bash them.
Why am I? But people will ask me, why am I highlighting this? Why are we talking about this? Why is this so important? I believe it is because I believe that
it's the stem of all the problems of the BBC.
It's at that precipice. It's at the edge of the cliff now, and all it'll take is just one more thing to push it over the edge, which I do believe is going to happen. And I think that thing that's going to push it over the edge is actually going to be Doctor Who itself. And I think after we see what happens with the special, I think you will see a lot more. There will be a lot more noise, especially from Who fans. They're not going away. They're to defund the BBC. They have YouTube. They have a Facebook now. They have Twitter. They're on everywhere. I think they're on Parler as well. It's grown. It's gaining momentum. The British public have had enough of this.
But you know what?
Organisation. And Gary is right. Gary is right in some aspects. You know, he grew up a time where they're settled in their ways, like me dad. And that's nothing to be.
Well, that's their target audience. The BBC's target audience is an older population.
Doesn't make them sexist, misogynistic, or anything like that. Some people are just set in their ways. Gary's not going to say to anybody, because he's set in his ways, well, you can't do what you want to do with your life and all of that. He's like everybody else. Live and let fucking live. But don't take
or break my shit.
Don't tell him how to feel, think, and all of that. Like I'm not open to it. I'm like Gary. I think I do believe that it is a male role, but they have went down this route. They've chose to go down this route. I just wish they had went with an actress that, in fairness, was better than Whittaker. And that's just blunt, and I have to be blunt. She's not good enough. Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Sorry, I was just going to say, but do you know what? We've all played into their hands of the establishment when you think about it, because if you look at language in the last, I mean, I don't want to be too political, but problem being I'll understand this common purpose and David Cameron and everything else, but we've actually played into it, our conversations and the language and the way we speak today. We wouldn't have dreamed of this 20 years ago, 10 years ago. It just shows, it shows you how far we're being programmed as well, because to be honest with you, some of the conversations we have, I don't like them. I'm old school. I'm not a prude by any means. But, I believe in minding my own business. Once I leave this house, I'm busy worrying about paying bills, going shopping and things. I'm not worried about colour. I'm not worried about sexuality. I'm not worried about femininity. I'm worried about feeding myself, clothing myself, putting bills, food on the table. That's what real. All the other stuff is irrelevant. If you want to make a difference, if you want to make a real difference, go and feed the homeless, go and look after abused animals, kids. All this stuff should be private. And real love is private, and it's in the bedroom. It's not out in the open. It's private. It's a beautiful thing. It's a mysterious thing. We don't need to know about it, and kids don't need to know about it either. We didn't need to know about it. They don't need to know about it now. They need to be allowed to grow up and be children. They're only kids till they're 16. And it's just pumped into them from when they're like, I was a school teacher, so I know what they were teaching them from the age of 5.
No, you actually wrote one of your videos. This is the one thing that actually does kind of annoy you, is the fact that everything seems to be sexualized now. And you're right. I will agree with you. It has become highly sexualized, and society in itself has actually as well. And you notice little things like every year or every couple of years, the age of consent seems to be coming down lower and lower and lower. And we're going to get to a stage where it's going to be ridiculous, where you're going to, get to the stage where it's like, say, the 1500s, where grown men of 40 were marrying young girls. Like, we can't be having that situation again. We have to move on. Society's gone backwards, actually. It's gone backwards instead of moving forward. We've actually gone backwards. I don't know. I mean, anybody else got to add about it? I do agree. Everything has become. Look at the art. You look at the way they go on Twitter, Facebook. everything's got to do with sex with them.
Well, it's postmodernism because this is what's been taught in academia now, and it's spread throughout everywhere. And it is this doctrine of postmodernist ideas, which are deconstructionist. They are all about colonialism, the history of the past, about white privilege. It's about critical gender and race theory, which is now being banned across America, rightly so, because it's so divisive and it is a Marxist false flag. This is where they use groups of people to activate them into activism, to radicalize people into taking very extremist views, to overreact and to be used using their justifiable anger in some cases, but to manipulate them and agent provocateur them into action. And it is about destroying Western culture. It's primarily designed to do that. That's its function. I went to university as a mature student back in 2015, and even then in the core studies, they are lecturing you about your privilege even then, and saying things about how evil the empire was and that it did all these terrible things. And it's like, well, yeah, but it also did a lot of good things too. Look, I'm not here to defend the British Empire. I'm not. But, there's two sides to every story, but not within postmodernism. And also, one major thing about postmodernist doctrine is everything, every mortal aspect of life, from art through to sex, through to growing up, through to work, through to politics, through to everything is political. So they will politicize absolutely every single thing.
Yeah.
And nothing is off the table.
Which is sad, really, because I obviously I remember the glory days of the BBC, and their TV when I was growing up as a kid. I mean, BBC and ITV or UTV, wherever you want to call it. It's ITV and UTV over here, but those two stations on a Saturday night, it was compulsive viewing. You'd bounce from one station to the next because there'd be hit after hit on. It was just, you'd have comedy variety shows, you'd have your quiz shows, you would have your magicians. There was just everything for everybody. And it was just, even Noel's house party, Mr. Blobby and all of that. That's quality TV. That was quality entertainment.
It was about family shows, but now the BBC has a culture of hating the family and wants to see the nuclear family. That's another aspect of postmodernism and Marxism. They want to destroy the nuclear family. So they've taken away that kind of type of television where you can sit down and watch all together, because they don't want that. Also, they got complacent. They also allowed themselves to be hijacked by this shadowy organization and the people of the like, where they use tactics which are not any different really from the tactics that the mafia would use in terms of a protection racket, basically. So if you don't have this diversity and inclusion training, we will go to our X amount of thousands of millions or whatever of Twitter followers and tell them that you're an ist, you're a phobe, you won't do this critical race or gender or trans theory class, which costs, I don't know, let's say 80,000 to 800,000 pounds a pop. If you refuse to do these courses, then we're going to out you on Twitter, and then we're going to pull you through the mud, basically. And the angry Twitter mob will be activated, and they'll come after you. And that's exactly what is going on. Trust me, this is the culture that's going on. This is why it's been allowed to go on. And also, not only that, but they're quite happy to use things like blackmail to do it. So I mean, not only like that kind of protection racket, but if they've got anything on anybody, they will.
Yeah, well, they could try blackmail me or cancel me all they want. So I don't give a shit. I'm not going anywhere. They can have all the dirt they want on me. I'm not going anywhere. That's the thing. See, this is what's happened with cancel culture as well. That annoys me. Is that when someone is out for something that they did a couple of years ago, instead of actually defending themselves, they will basically take the knee and they will basically allow to be cancelled. That's never going to happen to me. I don't care what they say. That nobody is ever cancelling me or this channel or my Twitter account. You could say whatever you want, slander me all you want. You could make all these accusations all you want. Nobody's buying it for 1 second anyway, because if people did buy it, my Twitter account actually would have been took down properly, not a Twitter glitch. It would have been took down properly, right? I'm not in breach of any Twitter's terms and conditions because they know what I'm putting up is called opinion. You need to get over yourself. But as I said, this cancel culture nonsense, I don't buy into it anyway. And anybody that has allowed themselves to be cancelled, as far as I'm concerned, is a weak-minded, pathetic fool and actually should never come back to social media again. If you're going to be that weak-minded, because you make the rest of us look weak, you should defend yourself, especially if you're innocent. If you're innocent of something that you've been accused of, do what Angry Joe did. You come out and you defend yourself. Then the person in question removes all their stuff then that they accused you of. Now, I will say this, though. It is bad that this girl nearly tried to ruin Angry Joe's career. And then after he came out with his video and basically said that he was getting solicitors and everything involved, she actually took down the thread. But she's still on Twitter. She still has her YouTube channel. But Angry Joe could have been destroyed there. But he did the right thing. And we need more people like Angry Joe. And even Gary and Az at the time even said it. You need more people like him that when these creatures come to try cancel you, you stand up for yourself. Don't back down. As soon as you back down, they win. And that's why they've become strong. And this is why they've become the way they have, because they've been cancelling people left, right, and centre and been getting away with it because people are weak-minded and won't defend themselves when it's not even justified to be cancelled. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in right now. And it's not going to happen to me because I will never, ever apologise for something I was accused of that I know I didn't do. Not a chance. Not happening. I don't care. They could try cancel me. Not happening. Anybody that does that, as far as I'm concerned, is...
Well, this is why you can't allow these people to get away with this, because
exactly.
what they're trying to do is they're trying to shame people into silence. They're trying to use all means possible to cancel people. And they'll use absolutely any tactics. They've got no shame. They've got no problems at all by doing the very things that you're accused of doing. By the way.
Now, I'm anti-Semitic now on top of everything else that I am apparently, because I have to be. They just have to. Charlotte, yeah, go ahead, Charlotte. And if any of you guys actually want to pipe up as well, don't let me and Lee kind of take over the conversation. If you have anything valuable to add, please do, and be forceful enough about it. Get in there.
Yeah, you have to with Noel.
Definitely. No, with Lee.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, okay, with me as well. But once Lee gets going, there's no stopping him. So if you want to stop him, you have to
right.
Get in there. Right, so go on anyway, Charlotte. Be quiet, you, Lee.
He said.
No, and this is why you need to not let certain groups, when they become a mob, when they come after you, and if you know in your heart that you are not what they're calling you, you need to stand up and say something, because once they smell weakness, and we've seen this with celebrities, once a show or a celebrity gives something, then a couple of weeks afterwards, they found something from 10 years ago they don't like on Twitter that this person said, and they get cancelled all over again.
Yeah,
so they're never going to stop. So
that's
you need to stand up.
They don't stop. They don't stop. They will always keep coming back for more. And that's the thing. Once you apologise to them, that's it. They'll hound you to death.
It's a sign of weakness, and they know that, and they look for that.
You'll never succeed. You'll never win the purity test.
It's like look at Disney and Star Wars. Look at all the stuff they did for those sort of types of fans. And they put out a comic where, lo and behold, a woman gets killed because it's a comic about a bounty hunter, and that's what bounty hunters do. And what do? They say Star Wars hates women after we had the Rey saga where she was all powerful and bestest ever.
Yeah.
They're never going to be happy.
No.
So you don't give in.
That's right.
Daniel,
Sorry, guys. There's just something on there's something on the TV that's in relation to us with Ted, with the way he's behaving lately, and Cheryl just drew me attention to it. So it's just to basically, because anytime I even try to kiss my wife, Ted will go into a big mad bark and fit and get very jealous. So she's literally watching this program, and this expert is basically telling them what to do. So Cheryl is watching for the two of us, so because he's a nutcase. And that account on Twitter, that's basically because Emma says, "Don't worry, I've reported that Twitter account." There actually is no point. For the simple fact of the matter is that I can tell you now personally from people that I've spoke to, that account has been reported over, I say 100 times now at this stage, and they haven't taken it down.
They'll cancel me, but they won't cancel the
very
DPs.
clever though. They never really say anything that gets them into trouble. The thing that does get them into trouble though is that they do allow slanderous stuff to be put on their account. For example, the accusation lately about Philip Morris. Apparently, Philip Morris, according to this accusation, apparently was talking to underage girls, all of this nonsense. And that account allowed some person to leave that tweet up. So obviously I informed Philip because, you know, you're not going to have that slanderous behavior going on. So Philip has actually reported the person that made that tweet, not the actual account, but the person that made that tweet. He's reported that person to the police. I know better, man, because Philip is in the UK, so he will bloody sort this out. He's not going to have people. But this is another thing as well I want to highlight. This is another thing that the accused. I've been accused of being a child molester. I've been accused of being this, that, and the other, as you've all seen. Stop touching kids. We were getting months ago, and all of this other nonsense, right? And then we were getting that I was supposed to be threatening and bullying people. But I proved to everybody, and Lee was there with me all the way. Sock account after sock account, we exposed, right? These people, all the lengths that they're willing to go through. And listen, I'm still here. They tried to listen. People say I've got a big head. Nobody's trying to cancel you. You're not that big. They are trying to cancel me. And I know I'm not that big, but they are still trying to cancel me. And I'll tell you why. It's because they know exactly what I'm saying is spot on. And they don't like being told the truth. And when people don't like being told the truth, what do? They lash out. And that's exactly what these accounts and other accounts do. So that
but that's so arrogant. No,
there's no point in reporting it because they're
that arrogant. I mean, look at what Mr. Tardis Review said. You know, about you wished all the Chinese people dead and that you're anti-Semitic. I mean, that is out and out slander, and I think that's how arrogant they've gotten. They think they're so untouchable. But I really, really would love to see some of these buggers taken to court for this sort of defamation of character, because it's outrageous.
It's difficult for me. If I was living in the UK, this wouldn't even be an issue because I'd be straight to the Met Police and I'd have this sorted. The fact of the matter is I'm in Ireland, and the procedure here is that if I have a complaint to make against a citizen in the UK, especially when it comes to trolling, I have to go to my local Garda station first. Then they have to basically liaise with the Met Police, and then they decide between themselves then, you know, whether I can go further about it or not. Now, as I said, I went for a meeting. I haven't heard back from, because we've obviously went back into lockdown. So it's harder for me, but for Philip, it's going to be pretty easy. He can just go into his local police station, and because, you know, they're in the same jurisdiction. That's the thing that's bad about international trolling. There's so much red tape there that it is going to be very hard. Obviously, like if something was to happen to me because of all of this, and I'm not saying I would, but you know the way it has driven some people, like Caroline Flack, for example, that presenter that actually killed herself for all the hate that she was getting on social media, and she ended up taking her life. This is why I am so against what goes on and what that account is doing. They're saying they're not bullying, but what you are doing is they're facilitating it.
They are bullying.
You know, and I noticed lately now that you've stopped screen grabbing my tweets, and it's just as well anyway, because I was getting to the stage where I was gonna do something about it, because you can't be going on like that. But I've seen that you've also tried, in your attempt to show that you're balanced, you've tried to show a few of these toxic tweets from your own so-called side, but it's too late. It's too late since you set up that account, you targeted a certain amount of people. You follow all of those people as well, by the way. And it's ridiculous. And I'm glad there are people out there now starting to see what you're up to. And there are people even in this chat that did support you that are here now. And I'm not saying they're supporting me, but they're here and they're listening to me, and they're starting to think, well, is all of this bull that's being said about Noel actually true? Anybody that knows me, right? Anybody that knows me on this channel for the couple of years that we've been doing this knows that I'm none of those things. That's why I never lost subscribers, many subscribers. Yet you lose some and you gain some. That's the way it happens. But when all of these so-called incidents were happening and I was being bombarded, I didn't lose a subscriber. Didn't lose one, because people know me from listening to me, talking to me personally, and actually coming onto the channel and having their say. I'm a very open guy. I am. And I have no problem talking with any fan of this era that actually really likes it, right? I really don't. The problem that I have is that when we have tried to attempt to bring some of yous on, some of yous have come on and behaved yourselves and then ranted about me on Twitter, which is not, that's not how you go about things. If you're going to come on, don't be two-faced. And another thing as well, we've seen it, people will come on and pretend to be people of different nationalities. We had some guy, clearly a white guy, pretending to be a guy from India. Also, I've noticed as well that these Jodie Whittaker fans, some of them, will actually use Jodie Whittaker herself as a way to get back at
I mean, they put her face in a porn picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They will use Jodie Whittaker. How is that being a fan of the woman? And by the way, people will tell you on this channel, how many times have I actually defended Whittaker on this channel? I have defended her quite a bit. Remember when she did the children in need thing and everybody was criticizing her for doing it with the little girl? I was one of the very first channels to come out and actually shame everybody for that. How dare you? It was children in need. It means a little girl. She made that little girl's dreams come true, right? Just because we don't like her. And I don't like her as the doctor. But at the end of the day, we can't take that away from that little girl, because if that was any of us and that was their favorite doctor, like a Peter Capaldi or a William Hartnell or a Pertwee or a Baker, what would we be like? We'd be bleeding like that little girl, wouldn't we? So I thought it was getting a bit petty, and I called her out. I defended Whittaker several times on this channel, and it's actually weird. And by the way, just to let you know how petty that other account is, right? The video that you're talking about, Emma, the one where I called out that disgusting sexual assault crap thread that was going out, right? I exposed, I did a video on it, but guess what? I tweeted that account, right? I tagged that account in the video and I says, I notice you only share me negative tweets or me so-called negative tweets. Why don't you share this? They still haven't shared it. So they only want to show what they want to show because they want.
It shows you what bullshit.
Yeah, they just want to show what they want to show you, because it's like it's all propaganda basically. They want you to make you think that I'm this person, and I'm not. I'm actually not. I can be ranty. I can be a grump. Yes, I'm all of those things. I know I am. I'm a melty sod, right? That's what I'm known for. Right, I have opinions that are very harsh, right? But everybody knows me. Everybody knows where I stand, and it's just such a shame that we've gotten to the point in the fandom where you can't even have a different opinion. Now I'm going to shut up now and let Daniel and Charlotte and Gary get a word in edgeways. But guys, we'll start with you, Daniel, because I know you're bitten at the teeth there the last 20 minutes. You want to add to all of that?
Yeah, well, see, to be honest with you, a lot of these a lot of these look like a lot of these look like fans and fandoms around my age don't actually have the skills to actually have a proper and conversation and like have a rational conversation and hash it out and agree to disagree. They would rather resort to hounding tactics and making up all these allegations because they've been taught through they've been taught through various educational days like sports day or have you become asked to get doing all of that. So it's like instant gratification, and some of them don't want to earn their stripes, and they give people like myself and Charlotte a bad name, and I'm sick of this shite. And to be honest with you, they make me so ashamed to be part of this generation.
Yeah, and I'll quickly add to what Daniel was saying, and also in a different way, and that is there are genuine fans of this era. I've heard them in videos, and they can actually make proper arguments. They can go into detail, but they're not but the general perception comes from the minority that are calling people names, that are attacking people on Twitter, and all they're doing is harming the genuine fans of Whittaker and this run, because they'll be seen as, oh, you're one of them, when they're not, and it's just so counterproductive. That's what I don't understand.
Absolutely.
Like, these actions are so counterproductive.
Yeah.
You're harming your own era. You're harming your own doctor because some of her era is going to be remembered for all the nastiness.
Instead of what? Yeah, exactly. Listen, and you are right, Charlie. You make an absolute spot on. We know. Oh my God, Cheryl, Ted's bed. Oh, sorry, guys. Look at what Ted. Look at the bed. Look at the bed. It's moving. It's doing the thing.
Wait, is he
He's doing the thing. Yeah, go on, quick. Yeah.
It's doing
Right,
the thing.
anyway, but Charlie, no, you're spot on. Absolutely, there are genuine fans of this era, and unfortunately, they are being drowned out by all of the nonsense. And it's all of us. We all take part in it. When someone does, look, I don't react as I used to. As you know, if you followed me on Twitter, I don't react much anymore. I don't care. I've actually gotten to that point now where I don't care. But that is the problem. The genuine fans of this era are being drowned out. And I would actually like to hear their points of view, because it would be interesting to hear why they connect to Jodie Whittaker's doctor. What about and to actually hear their arguments, and to actually hear.
They're too aloof. They're not interested.
Whether they are or not, it'd still be just nice.
They see you as so toxic. They won't share a platform.
Well,
with you.
You never know. This is the whole idea. The Tardis Zone
ridiculous.
Trying to change the image of the channel, even though it's not the image, but it's the image that has been put out there. I'm trying to get fans of this era to come on. I'm not.
What's happening with this Universe of Who thing? Is that happening?
Here's the thing with that, right? So I'm just going to be blunt about it. So they want me to download Discord, right? I can't, not on this computer, because that would be the final straw for this bleeding thing. Right? So I said to them, and I suggested StreamYard, right? But according to Universe's Who's friend, StreamYard is full of viruses. Now, I told them basically it's not. Right, so if they want me to appear, that's the only way I can appear. So I haven't heard anything back. But you guys all use StreamYard. And
Well,
you
I just use the desktop. I don't.
StreamYard does not give you
I don't need to
buttons.
download anything if I'm using the desktop. I just click on the
So,
link and it's
I'm
fine.
not saying it wasn't a genuine offer, but I'm not downloading something that's gonna. I don't have enough room to put it on my computer anyway. And Discord is something that I don't really particularly want to be on. I'm not a fan of. I've seen what happens on those forums, and it's not nice. Listen, no matter what people believe, I'm not this toxic person that everybody makes me out to be. I hate drama, but I always feel like I have to defend this channel, this community, right? Because we've built something together here, as I said the other night. We've all helped build this channel, every single one of us, including the people that have given the channel a shout out as well. But all of you guys subbing to the channel, sharing me videos, yous have helped build this community. I'm not going to have anybody destroy it. And this is why I do come out and defend my friends. And no, don't be a bully. You don't. No, again, Emma, that's the wrong way to do it. You don't need to be a bully, right? Don't even engage.
No, I don't think she was saying that.
All right, I think it's because the way. Yeah, I know you're right. But what I'm going to say is though, if you have distanced yourself from them, that's fantastic. What I would say is I wouldn't be interacting with their tweets anymore. You just do your own thing on Twitter. Listen, you're a fan. We have had interactions, right? You're a fan of Jodie Whittaker, right? You've made it clear. You haven't said you're a fan of Doctor Who. You said you're a fan of Jodie Whittaker, and you're only watching Doctor Who because she's on it, which is fair enough. You know what I mean. That's your personal choice. To me, I kind of find it hard to take in, but that's just me. It doesn't mean that I belittle or don't value your opinion as much as anybody else.
Can I just applaud Emma actually
Yeah.
for coming into the chat and for being here.
Well, she wrote a couple of messages on my videos as well on YouTube, and if you haven't,
and I just want to say, listen, I think you are really a symptom of what is really going on in people's minds, especially on Twitter. I think a lot of people who say they love this era, love Jodie Whittaker, all the rest of it, love Chibnall. I think if you really take them on their own and speak to them one-to-one, probably half of them will agree with Noel and myself on a lot of things, maybe not everything, but a lot of things, but are too afraid to speak up, because I think that they are afraid. They see what happens to people like Noel and me, and they don't want to say anything because they're scared, because they get bullied. But we have your back.
That are a bit more, willing to listen to me. No, not necessarily. Listen, I'm not asking you to agree with me either, Emma. If there's anything you disagree with what I have to say on this channel, you're more than welcome to leave a comment and let me know, and I'll even read it out. That's what we do on this channel.
And we are a community.
We agree. But people like Emma, because I'm going to mention someone else as well. Now, I'm not picking on this person, but I'm going to mention William Ahu, because William Ahu and myself kind of had a bit of a chat, and we were going to do something together, and he even supported me on it. And then the next day I woke up and all these tweets were taken down. He was encouraged basically to, this is what happens.
Yep, it's peer pressure, it's conformity.
The other side look at this and say, well, yous are traitors. He's really this person. He's not. We're telling you he's toxic. So if you don't believe us, even though you came on yourself, you've listened to me. And I'll ask you now, am I this real toxic person that they're all talking about on Twitter? I don't think so. And if you look back to my other videos, even the ones where I am ranting, I'm not being toxic. I'm just giving my opinion. That's all it is. People don't have to listen to me on the other side.
I'll tell you what's toxic. Toxic is where you feel you are oppressed. You cannot speak your mind because you will be vilified by people. That is a toxic environment. If you feel you can't be yourself, then I'm sorry, calling Noel toxic when all he does is be himself and allows other people to be themselves, I think that is projection. I think that is the worst thing. I think they are the very, very toxic things that they accuse us of. And I think it's a shame. I think their behavior is shameful and is an indictment of their of their
Lee,
belief
look
system.
who's in the chat as well. Sophie, also
We
another
love
Whittaker
Sophie.
fan.
Hello,
Oh, hello,
Sophie.
Sophie.
Hey Sophie, it's been ages since I've actually seen you. I haven't seen you much on Twitter. I was wondering if I was hoping you were okay. It's good
I've
to
seen
see
Sophie
that
in a while.
you're actually here. And Sophie says it. Noel has his right to criticize. And as I said, Sophie, I've been saying it every Friday. You know, if yourself and Emma is willing to come on, if you want to come on and talk about why you like this era, that you're more than welcome to come on. But it's nice to see it in the chat as well. But there you go. This puts a bit of a smile on my face because you know this.
And we are a community. You know,
Yeah.
we are. I mean, it doesn't matter what side inverted commas you're on. We are a community, and if we do not tolerate bullying, and we don't want this environment, and we are a community, we will have your back. We will not allow people who defend freedom of speech and people's right to criticize this to be attacked.
I'll be straight onto Twitter and I'll be saying, leave her alone. And I will say it now because there's 52 years listening, and I know some of you are Whittaker fans. So listen up. You leave it out now. You're a little facade is starting to, you know, a wall of mirrors are starting to break. People are starting to hear me for themselves and listen to me and actually hear that I'm probably putting out some decent arguments. If they want to counter them, that's fine. But
they've always got a platform. They can always come on. You know, there's nothing to stop them from having a decent conversation.
Like this channel on, we started with phone-ins. It was so basic. I was using speakers and Messenger just so I could get people onto the channel to voice their opinions. I've always been one for that on this channel. That is one thing I am proud of, is the fact that I've been able to let you guys come on as well. Even in those early days, do those phone-ins. And I know sometimes, you know, we didn't get it right because, you know, there'd be sound issues or whatever. But they were very popular. They were doing very well, just like it is now on every Friday. That those streams now are doing very well. People are listening. And as I said, it's an open invitation to everybody. If you like this era, current era of Doctor Who, come on and tell us why. Come on, I won't even argue. I just want to hear your opinions. That's it. I'm actually fascinated because this is everything. Everything that yous like, I see, is so foreign to Doctor Who. So I just want to see from your point of view why this show works and why you think it works. And I don't think that's there's anything wrong with asking that. So if you are willing to do that, you know, and come on. Because there's 55 years listening now, and I know a few Jodie Whittaker fans are listening. If you are willing to come on and be civilized and actually come on and tell us why you are a fan, as we said, you're more than welcome to come on. And Lee is right. Gary will tell you this, Charlotte will tell you this, and Daniel will tell you this, and everybody in the chat will tell you this right now. We do not condone any form of bullying or harassment. And anybody that's doing that on my so-called behalf is no friend of mine, right?
Yeah, and criticizing the crew and cast is not bullying.
Yeah, but this does bring me to a very important point as well. I've also noticed that a few not my doctors, when having an argument with a Jodie Whittaker fan, bring up the fact that I've been bullied by these people and that my wife has also been bullied by these people. I would say to you guys, do not mention my name. Don't bring my name into an argument with a Jodie Whittaker fan. If you're having an argument with a Jodie Whittaker fan, don't be using me as an example. What happens then is that when you give that example and then you mention the person that was bullying me, right? Then they think that I'm sending you to them or I'm asking you to do it on my behalf to put this out there so they can be bullied and harassed. Do not talk about me being bullied or harassed. I deal with my own stuff, right? If you're having an argument with a Jodie Whittaker fan over something stupid, don't bring me into it, right? Don't bring my bullying into it, right? Everybody knows what goes on in the fandom. Don't bring my name into it because you're bringing more trouble. You're not actually helping me. You're making it worse for me because then these people then are playing the victim and they're saying, Noel Zone is sending people to me Twitter account. Noel Zone sending people to me YouTube channel. And it's no such thing. So please not my doctors as well. Keep my name out of any argument that you're having with a Jodie Whittaker fan. And I'll say the same to the Jodie Whittaker fans as well. You want to kind of give up on his obsession with me. I'm not going anywhere. My Twitter account was not taken down because of something I said, like some big YouTuber. I remember this YouTuber has, 4 or 5 times more subscribers than me. And he's going and punching down, attacking a smaller channel. Goes to show you what this side of the fandom is capable of. And they're driven by people like that and that other account on Twitter. You just, listen, get over his obsession. Not going anywhere. The channel still stands. The Twitter account stands. I'm going nowhere, and I'm going to be a thorn in the side of this era until it goes. And I will point out everything that I think that needs to be pointed out. And if you don't like it, I don't care. There's other people out there that will listen to me, and if they disagree with me, they'll tell me in a civilized manner. If you can't come to me and talk to me in a civilized manner about any of these things, well, then I don't want to hear from you. I've blocked literally everybody that follows that Not My Doctor account, and I will continue to block people every time they get new followers. And I don't care if I haven't interacted with them, they're getting blocked because I don't want any drama, right? I don't want any of this crap. I never did. I had a different opinion to others and I got attacked for it, right? And the biggest mistake probably was defending myself. But as I said earlier on, I'm not this type of person with a weak mentality or weak mind. If someone comes after me and I honestly, truly believe I'm innocent, I will defend myself, defend this community, defend this channel, defend anybody, a friend of mine, if I think they're innocent, and I get the proof, right? And I don't know how many times me and Lee and others that follow me on Twitter have exposed all of these sock accounts, these people, the great lengths that they'll go through to try to take us all down. It is pathetic, and again, you know, as I said,
but it proves they're losing the argument.
We are losing the argument, and that's the sad thing about it. But you do actually do one thing because of your behaviour. Genuine fans of this era, just like the other side do with us, they tar you all with the same brush. So if you like Jodie Whittaker, you're a J-bot, which is unfortunate because that's not the case. You obviously are a Jodie Whittaker fan, and I know Emma is definitely Jodie, and Sophie is. They're definitely Jodie Whittaker.
They're not J-bots. I mean, we call them J-bots because they act like robots, because they all say they're all programmed to say and behave the same way.
These two girls,
they're like Cybermen. You will be deleted.
They've been willing to actually just listen to me, right? And even Sophie defended me on.
Sophie's great. We love Sophie.
So I mean, look, I think it's all. And Pip is at the sending me a 149 super chat. I can't see it on stream.
It's a unicorn.
Well, it's the unicorn again, isn't it? We love the old unicorns on the channel, Pip.
The phallic unicorn.
I really appreciate that. But guys, we'll move away from that, right? We've got about 20 minutes left or something, right? We'll just she's watching something, so we until she kind of looks at me, we can keep going. Right, so we've got a few more minutes. So is there anything that's happened during the week, as we're at the end of the week now? Is there anything that happened during the week that you'd like to highlight? We'll start with you, Gary. Was there anything that happened this week in the world of social media, or any announcements that was made in the movie or TV shows that you like that you want to discuss or highlight?
I'll be honest with you, I've been busy this week. I've just finished decorating the bathroom, the hall, and the kitchen, so I don't watch much TV anyway. It's usually just a background thing.
Yeah, you're like me dad now. Me dad used to watch a bit of TV, but he's like you. He's always decorating. Yeah. I suppose this is the time to do it, isn't it? I should really get up off my own ass and start actually painting this apartment up. But that'll have to wait now. But yeah,
the hardest bit's opening the can, though. The hardest part's opening the paint can, but once it's open and you start, you don't want to stop.
I know, yeah, that's the thing with painting. Yeah, I can never open I can never open a tin of bloody paint. I do have screwdrivers at the bleeding lid, and chisels,
Yeah.
you name it. And then eventually you do get it open, and then it splashes everywhere because you put so much effort into. Yeah,
By that point, my back is breaking. So
yeah.
God.
I like painting myself. I actually find
I hate it.
I find it
Oh,
relaxing.
No, yes, yeah, no pain, no gain. Like childbirth, no pain, no gain.
That's it. Well, Daniel, is there anything you'd like to highlight? Gary there with his decorating. I hope you did a good job, by the way, Gary, before we leave you. You did. You did. Good man. Good man. Daniel, you want to highlight?
Well, I would just like to say to like everybody, the everybody like that attended my attended my stream there. I thanks for all the support um and kind messages, because even although I've been on countless streams now, I still get a bit sort of I still get a bit sort of scared in case and case my content isn't entertaining enough for you, and I was actually surprised the reception that stream actually that stream actually had.
Here's the thing, though, I want to say to you
Because
about the excitement.
Because I want to try and be more, or to be as positive as possible, and I can see now how that people are on board.
Yeah, but this is what I was going to say to you, though. The less you worry about how exciting your content is, or how, if you start putting pressure on yourself, saying, is this good enough, or is this exciting enough, or is this funny enough, then you're going to get yourself into all sorts of bother. Trust me.
Just be yourself, man.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Just be the legend that you are.
Yeah, people support you because they see that you're good to listen to. You've got great points of view, as I said, highly intelligent. I wish more people of your age, your generation, I should say, were actually like you, Daniel. I don't think we'd be in the state that we are in society if a lot more young people had their heads on their shoulders and actually didn't buy into all of this rubbish. But people swarm to your channel because you're a likable person. They could see that as well, that when it comes to it, you have very, very, very strong opinions, but also you take no bull either, and people know that. That's why and a lot of us are very protective of you, and we always will be, because listen, you keep giving me credit, and I'm going to say it to everybody online here, because I've obviously said it to you off air. But I'm going to say you don't owe me nothing, because you keep saying you owe me this, that. You owe me nothing. Everything that you've done so far on your channel, right? I gave you a little push. Everything that you've achieved since then is all down to you and nobody else.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Everything that you've done since then, right? Since you got the little shove, setting up the channel, doing your streams, getting people on, doing your interviews. You even got the first week your channel was up, you even managed to bag a big stream. Everything that you've done yourself. You owe me or nobody else here anything. Not certainly not me. Listen, at the end of the day,
You're on your own, kid.
I'm proud of what you're doing. I'm delighted that you're sticking at it, because I know there was a few times where you were thinking of giving up, and you didn't. You didn't, though, and you've shown the character of the person that you are. So you keep doing what you're doing, and I'm telling you, you will grow. Your channel will grow. People, like for me, it was a slow process. Don't get disheartened. You know what I
The
mean?
day you give up is the day that you would have made the biggest,
Daniel,
stream.
Braveheart, Daniel,
That's
Braveheart.
it. Just keep doing it. You're doing well, man. You're doing well. Proud of
You're
you.
back now, mate. So I won't let you give up, right?
You've got Charlotte on board, so you
And now
can't
you've
fail.
got Charlotte on board now, so upwards and onwards and upward. You're telling you, man, you'll go places on this platform. You'll do well. Once you get over 1,000 subscribers, once you get to the 500 mark, it'll come a lot faster for you than it did for me. It seems to be the case with other channels, and you'll be no different. If Anton, you're probably better than some of those channels out there that I've seen that have loads of subscribers, and they don't even deserve them. Their content is actually shit. And I have no problem saying that. You're actually putting out content that people like, and keep mixing it up like you're doing. You're very clever as well. Keep doing that. Don't do what I did. I kind of got stuck into one little corner. I'm trying to branch out a little bit, and it's starting to work now, but it's a slower process for me. But you've got the advantage because you've started to mix it up straight away. So keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. And listen, as I said, you don't be praising anybody but yourself. You put yourself there, right? You got a little shove, that was it. You did everything yourself. And the success that you have, the subscribers that you have, you've earned all of those.
And Charlotte will kick your ass if you don't. So
yeah.
Oh,
Charlotte will keep you, we know Charlotte will keep you on your toes anyway. So we know you've got a good person beside you, a good right-hand woman beside you to help you with your channel. And it'll be nice to see his co-host and do shows together as well. It'll be great. Just keep it up, and don't let any of these people out there get the better of you by getting you down. And if you do need to take a break sometimes, don't be ashamed to take a break. Take a break. Yeah. It's too much. Take that break, because it's always good to recharge the batteries. Always good to recharge the batteries. But I'm so proud of you. Really am. Keep it up. Keep doing the things that you're doing. You're doing a wonderful job. And you you don't owe me anything. The only thing that I ask of you is to continue to support me the way I support you, and we support each other. Once we're there for each other, that's it. I don't want that off you. I never did. I seen something in you. You had always so much to say on my channel, and I knew that this guy needs to set up his own channel. And I was right. And that's one decision that I will say, and I will take credit for that. The fact that I told you and a few others out there and their channels have become a success, to go out there and do that, that's one thing I'm proud of. And that's the only thing I'm proud of. And this community that we've all built together, I'm proud of.
As you said.
Yeah. And I'm going to stop now blowing smoke up your ass now, because I don't want to get a big head like Davros himself, and then you'll be exterminating us all. But there you go. But no, I seriously mean that. So I wanted that to be public, because I did write a big long message to you on Facebook when you did actually say it. But I want people to know you don't owe anybody. You don't know. You earned this. You've done it, Daniel. I'm proud of you. So you keep going, keep fighting, and you're someone that deserves all the success. So I'm rooting for you, and we'll be watching you very closely, and we'll have you on here as well, and we'll be promoting you. So with that actually said, if you haven't actually subscribed to Daniel's channel, now is your opportunity. He's here with us now. Great lad, and he's kicking it out of the park. And it'd be nice to see Lee do the same thing as well. Actually, I'm still pushing him, but he's like at the edge of the cliff. But he's got this invisible force stopping him from falling over. Because I don't know how many times I have to keep saying it.
I've got other shit to do now.
That needs to get out there as well. Because I think Lee could listen. Lee does a lot of good on Twitter. When he's on Twitter, he destroys every single argument that these people make. That's why I believe he should have a channel and actually highlight some of these. You could block out their names, read the bloody tweets, and actually destroy their arguments. I think people would watch those streams. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to become the Twitter police.
I'm going to keep pushing you. By the end of the year, he'll be streaming on his own channel. He keeps going, we'll get him to stream. But so Daniel, yeah, go on. I'm sorry, I just had to say that though, but I'll let you finish what you wanted to say. But I think it was very important that that's put out there because you've done really well, and some people, and this is why I love you, man. Some people, especially when you were getting the grief earlier on, it would have been very easy for a lot of people to just give up and throw in the towel, and you never did. So you're a strong-minded individual as well as everything else. So never forget that, and don't let it's not about letting them win or acting like that. But don't let these people ever get the better of you. As I said, if you do need to take a break away, take that break away, but never react to them. Just do what you're doing. And these nasty people that have attacked you in the past, don't worry. People like them, karma is one of those things that I do strongly believe in. And there's a special place in hell for people like them. So don't be worrying about that. Right, I'm going to stop blowing smoke up your ass now because I'm going to get a bit teary-eyed here. Just go ahead, Daniel.
And again, thanks for having me on. And I can actually have her say now.
Hang on. Who's the sidekick here now? Talking no. Now you've already made a mistake. Oh my God!
Both of us on, mate.
Producer, you can't be calling her your side. You have no. That's it, Charlotte. Oh, I'm gonna steal your producer, Charlotte. Would you like to produce for? His face when I said that. Oh my God!
If looks could kill, you'd be away for 40 years.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to get on the bad side of Daniel. But if you're a producer, would you like to? I'll give you another chance, Daniel, to do that introduction again. All right.
All right. Well, we'll hand over to my producer before she kicks my ass.
Well, I was thinking because of what I said on Friday, and it seemed to really get people happy. I've written something, and it's probably going to sound terrible, but I want to try and read this out, and it's sort of for everybody in the chat.
Right.
And
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to give you the whole screen.
Oh no, don't.
No, why not? Sure, you've got your face covered. Just pretend. We're all going to be on the side there supporting
okay.
you, right? And by the way, I will say that there's a couple of people that have, after what you said, it resonated with a lot of people. So I want to thank you as well, because I have to say you got to us all. It was lovely what you said. It's like Doctor Who did bring us all together, and I think we all forget that. Even the other side, even some of these people that even attack me. I mean, let's be honest. We're all in the same community because we supposedly all love a TV show called Doctor Who. But I am going to hand over to Charlotte now, and I'm going to shut up. So I'm going to remove us all. So I'm gone now. So I'm going to shut up.
Okay, let's hope this works. Right, this is message from an old friend. Hello now. The old girl should be sending this out, and she never let me down before, despite hammers and everything else. I've stumbled upon a distress signal, but this one is quite a distance away. Even for me, I could be there and back in a snap, or this could take quite a while, especially in your time. Now I know you lot can be a worrying bunch, and if I suddenly disappeared, so I'm sending a message out to calm everything down. I never properly said why, out of all the galaxies and planets, I picked Earth as my new home after the war. Suppose I was too busy running about trying to be the hero, as that was easier than dwelling on the reason why. Now there are quite a few, but one of the main reasons was the people that I'd met in my travels. You all had this spark that stood out. That thirst for knowledge, which can either be your greatest fault or strength, combined with a fire which fuels all your actions. That fire isn't just for knowledge, it also shows in how fiercely you care for others, which is what I want you all to remember. Humans can come together due to being such a social species, especially in times of need. I've seen you stand up to so many terrible creatures and forces that see you as nothing but ants, as they don't know the human spirit like I do. Therefore, here is my final word before we go, and that is to remember that spirit. And if you're ever scared or not sure, reach out to each other, work together, as no one will be able to keep you down for long. And remember, be kind. That's it.
Right, I'm not saying that until I get everybody in.
Well, I got goosebumps.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That I had a lump in me throat. That's beautiful.
You've got the doctor absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's the wonderful thing about that. Yeah. That was the doctor.
Noel said, which made me want to write it, we all need a doctor. So that was my attempt.
Do you know what you should actually do? I don't know if you'll do it, but I think, I know it's already at the being on this stream, but that is beautiful. I would love to just put that up as a video as itself. Would there be any chance? Now, it's up to yourself. If you say no, it's absolutely fine. If you could send me an audio of it, of you doing the speech again, and I can throw it up on the Tardis Zone and let everybody hear it.
If you want, I could do. If you want to do the voice like it's the doctor talking, and then if you want, you can give me the audio. I can actually put it in a TARDIS for you.
There you go, and then I'll post it up. It's up to yourself. You could think about it. That was absolutely beautiful. Everybody's saying it in the chat as well. You're getting a round of applause there as well. Charlotte for new showrunner. Just think if Capaldi would have said that. Yeah,
I was trying to be Peter. That was who I was trying to be.
Yeah, I got that vibe.
Well, listen, I'd love to put it up, but as I said, it's entirely up to yourself. Obviously, do what Lee said. Send it to him first, because then he'd be able to send me the whole lot done.
Yeah, if you stay around behind. When we finish the stream, I'll give you my email, and then you can send it to me.
Well, I'll let you talk about. Yeah. We just don't put her on the spot, I suppose.
No, okay. But we'll discuss it later.
Sorry, Charlie. Sorry.
We're talking about not to
There you go. You're getting a lot of people again, Charlotte. Jesus, woman, what you doing?
There you go. Very popular.
Good woman yourself. Well, you see, there you go.
There you go. If anyone needs a channel, all right.
Charlotte,
I said actually about time you set one up. I tell you this all the time.
You can still produce Daniel. Just,
people do that. They have their own channels, but because their channels are smaller, they produce.
Yeah, Lady Gravemaster does it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it can work. I don't know, Charlotte. I mean, you could. You seem to have a talent for storytelling as well. I mean, you could capitalize on this yourself and do your own little videos. Obviously, if you didn't want to show your face, and you could actually read out these little things that you've.
Why don't you do what Beware's done? Do something like that. Get your own cast together.
Oh no, I'm not that creative.
Oh, come on.
I'll have a chat with you, Lee. But
okay, definitely have a chat about it, because this is good. That's it. See this. We make brand new discoveries on this channel all the time. We've discovered a hidden gem.
There we go.
And our writing. But listen, we should have known after what she said the other night and got everybody nearly crying.
You got a knack, Charlotte. You
do. Yeah, I think you write emotion very well. Oh, Chris Chibnall, you looking for someone to write emotion?
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
serious. I'm not taking the piss
No,
here.
I know.
Just seriously. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well done, Charlotte. Well
Brilliant.
done. Absolutely fantastic. But this is the wonderful Doctor Who fandom. We've got so many talented people, and then you get me. Yeah.
Your talent is bringing people together now.
Yep.
Well, I you know,
If it's for you or against you, you still
all
manage
this
to bring
story
people together.
writing, though, as you do know, I have mentioned it, but only very briefly. I have written before. I used to write when I was a young teenager. But my genre was actually horror and murder and drama. I've never written sci-fi, but with all of this nonsense going on with the timeless children and stuff and things that are happening with Doctor Who, I've been kind of coming up with ideas because obviously I watch a lot of classic Who, and I've been coming up with ideas for follow-on stories that we didn't see to some of the classic stories. The only problem that I'm going to have is that I can structure a plot together if it's horror and murder mystery and stuff like that. But when it comes to sci-fi, that's completely different. The writing,
I started writing something as well. It was I've started. Well, I called it The Trials of the Time Lords.
yeah,
And it's basically set as the Doctor's final incarnation. He doesn't even know it because he's been through so many lives, and he feels like all his previous lives have been sort of drained out of him as he's regenerated into his final incarnation.
yeah,
And then his TARDIS disappears around him, and all he can hear is the cloister bell. So he goes off to look for his TARDIS, and then eventually he's going to come across the Time Lords, who aren't what he thinks are the Time Lords. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be, he's going to come across a universe populated with himself, which is basically the Timeless Child. And it's what I want to do is do a retcon of the Timeless Child where it resets the universe. So
Infinity
anyway. Sorry,
Infinity Doctors.
Yeah, basically, like the whole universe is just populated with
Yeah.
previous incarnations.
Well, you see, again, fans are brilliant when it
I
comes
just want to highlight the plot hole, basically. and make
They
a
love
story.
it. I mean, I'm seriously thinking of trying to do this, but I'm not. I'm not a sci-fi writer, and I do. If I was to write something that was crap, you know, I'd be highly hypocritical because I've been slating the man that obviously that is his job, but still, you know. So that I think that's what's keeping me from writing because I I know I'd be able if I've got the story in my head and I know what I want to do with it. It's just getting it down on paper is gonna be, you know, the hardest part. I think once I get started and then I start working out all the little plot points that I want to and all the little secret little messages that I want to insert in. So I want to kind of be like a kind of RTD kind of thing where he likes to put in these little messages, but you don't really take notice until, like, obviously we get later on in the story that all of these things connect. But yeah, I'll see. I'm gonna try me hand at writing a little short story first, and see how that goes. And if I'm confident enough that it's good enough, then I'll put it out there for people to see, and then we'll see what kind of reaction they get. And if I get a positive reaction, then I'll take a stab at this whole Doctor Who business. I might even retcon the whole timeless children nonsense as well while I'm at it.
Yeah.
Get your own bloody idea. I'm doing that one.
No. But I've got a simpler way of sorting my one out. You're
I
going
don't do
way-
simple.
You're going way complicated.
Only never do simple.
It's all right. Just going to go back to the very beginning of a woman who fell to earth. That's where my story is going to start. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is never going to fall out of that TARDIS and bang through that train.
No, I know how you could do the whole woman felt worth, and then like when she used that microwave and all end up in space, like they just all sort of
Oh
died.
no, Bill Potts. No. Bill Potts is gonna fix this regeneration. See, there's a little thing that people seem to skip, and I brought this theory up actually a couple of years ago as a way of explaining how we possibly got, or how we would end up with a female doctor. See, what people forget at the end of Peter Capaldi's last episode is that there's one part of the jigsaw that he's forgetting. So Bill comes back onto the TARDIS, but she's with Water Girl, right? But you see, Peter's doctor was already dying and regenerating, yeah? So my story will base around the fact that somehow the girl, what's her name? Heather? What was the girl's name that she fell in love with?
Heather.
Yeah. So somehow Heather, because she was a liquid form, right? She tainted, she did something to the region. I just haven't figured out how yet. But her DNA or some of her got into the regeneration, and that's how we got the Whittaker doctor. So Whittaker is not actually really the doctor. It's an accident between the regeneration of Peter's doctor and the fact that Bill's girlfriend somehow tainted it. And that's how I'll explain it. I'm not going to go into what a big fucking yoke. It'll be simplified. It'll be something to do with DNA or something. I'll figure it out anyway. I haven't just figured it out, but that's how I'm going to do it. It's going to include Heather, because the pilot, she was liquid form, if you remember. So it's easier to kind of explain it that way, in my opinion. She did, because remember, she does help Bill pick up the doctor. So there was contact there as well. So yeah, this could be explained easily, or you could just do the whole Dallas thing, which I think is a cop out. Peter gets out of the bleeding or wakes up from a dream or something. That's ridiculous. To be quite honest with you, if they actually BBC actually did do this, I wouldn't watch anymore. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, I do want it retconned, but you don't retcon it that way. It has to make sense. If you're gonna retcon it, do it properly, and I would do it that way. That's my way of doing it. I would use Heather because our first episode is interesting, the pilot, and then she appears in it again, as you know, and it's just very interesting. Yeah, so I'd use her as a way. So she affected the regeneration somehow, and that's how we got a female doctor. That was my theory on those couple of years back. And you know what? Some people said it was actually not a bad theory at the time. Some were coming up with ridiculous other theories, but that's what I would come up with. It explain it. Then it wouldn't be kind of disrespectful to Whittaker's doctor either, because it was.
See, if my idea for how they could have introduced a female doctor was quite I think a good one, because if you look at the Doctor Falls, there's a scene where he's trying to convince Missy and the Master to stay with him and fight with him.
Speech,
and there's a bit where the Master, I didn't listen to a word you just said, and he just walks off, and then he talks to Missy, and she's like, "No, I've got to go," and he sort of he tells her to, please stay, and she's like, I can't. But then she pulls him towards her, and she looks him in the eyes, and then you see a close up of her hand in his hand, and she's looking down. He looks down, and then they look up at each other, and it's like she's handing him something. It really does look like that, and I'm thinking, if that was
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, if that was like, her pocket, like she knows she's going to betray herself. She knows she's going to betray the Master, and she's probably not going to survive. So, like, she's given her his regeneration energy.
Yes, or chameleon.
That's it. So she goes off. She knows she's going to die, and that energy, when he realizes he might not make it, that he's so fatally wounded, he's never going to regenerate. That he uses that, and it makes him regenerate into her. So it's like it got a mixture of the 13th Doctor, you know, whoever that would have been, with Missy. So it's like a, you know, a bit like the 11. You know,
well, what I wanted to tell you,
Yeah.
that was actually a theory that was floating about, and that actually one of the rumors that was going around was this, right? There was a couple, right? But that it actually ties into what you're actually saying. So what if I was to tell you that actually Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, in fact, is Missy, and Sacha Dhawan is actually the Doctor?
I would much prefer if Sacha Dhawan was the Doctor. I think he'd be a much better Doctor than he is a Master. Absolutely.
Well, that was a rumor that was going
I'd
around.
accept that. I'd buy
There's another
that.
one at the start, before Series 11 actually even aired. There was a lot of rumors going around, and one particular rumor was when Jodie was obviously thrown out of the TARDIS, right?
Yeah.
And she lands. Right, but here's the thing, the whole thing about that regeneration. So we were told that was supposed to be the most powerful regeneration that happened. Now, I still look at that scene, and I think David Tennant's is more powerful, to be quite honest with you. But apparently this one was. But what happened if
Matt
this
Smith was the
regeneration
biggest,
was
wasn't
so
it?
powerful that it splintered time, right? And this is a theory that I've obviously came up with as well, right? It split time, right? And when the Doctor was thrown out of the TARDIS, in fact, the Doctor wasn't just thrown out of the TARDIS. The Doctor was thrown into alternate realities as well. So Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, if you get me, is the Doctor, and Joe Martin's Doctor is the Doctor, but they're not a different Doctor from an alternative timeline. It is the same Doctor because she splintered into different Doctors in different time periods. Get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
And
but Chibnall's already rubbished that idea.
and this is where I do think this whole time, this children nonsense is coming from. I think what he's gonna probably do is then by the end of it all, if he explains it properly, is he's gonna somehow get all these Doctors to combine together to have the Doctor back as one, if you get what I'm saying. So it's like the Doctors, bits of the Doctor are in different parts
That's interesting.
reality, right? So
I don't think Chris Chibnall is that creative.
Energy splinter time, and then that's why the TARDIS threw her out to protect not only the TARDIS but to actually protect reality itself, right? And then bang, right? You see the regeneration, and then she goes into all the, and then that's where we're getting, because there is rumors that there's other Doctors out there, right? So why is there other Doctors out there? I don't think he's trying to retcon the whole make it all a female Doctor. I actually do honestly believe that there are other Doctors out there, but Jodie Whittaker's Doctor somehow isn't a complete Doctor. There's bits of her missing, if you get me. That's why she's so erratic. That's why she's nothing like the Doctor that we're getting. Now, that would make sense, but why would he go through all the things and say...
No, he would never admit she's got flaws. Never in a million years.
That's what I'm saying. So I do believe that this is where he's actually going with it, folks. I actually do think that Ruth's Doctor isn't another Doctor. She's the same Doctor, the same person. If you get what I'm saying. It's very hard to explain because it's the fucking Doctor. But you know what I mean? You put them all together, that's the Doctor. There's different...
I don't think he's that creative. No, I think it's basic. I think it's as basic as he's quite willing to go to the lengths. I think, yeah, I know that's what you would do, but I think what he's going to do is this is just what I personally get the vibe of, and it seems well within his remit to do it, and definitely within the confines of his socio-political religious view that he's going to reboot the Doctor completely from scratch, like make her the new first Doctor.
Terence, yes and no. What I'm saying is that Ruth is the 13th Doctor, Jodie is the 13th Doctor, and all of the other all the other Doctors that are out there that are going to be introduced, that I think are going to be introduced, are all the 13th Doctor. They're all the same Doctor. She's just been splintered into different time periods, if you get what I'm trying to say. It's hard to explain because they have regeneration. So if this was a normal person, right? Just put it this way, right? A normal person, you take that normal person, right? And the bits of that normal person are scattered all through time, right? And you have to put that person together, put that person back together to get the person back, right? That's what it is with the doctor. Jodie Whittaker is the 13 doctor, but so is Ruth's doctor, and the other doctors that if Series 13 does go ahead, he's going to introduce more, but they're not different doctors. They're all the 13th doctor. That's what I'm trying to say to you. They splinter time during Jodie's regeneration and bits of our personality, or whatever you want. It's probably easier to say our personality was put into other people or whatever, and they have to pull our back like a jigsaw puzzle. That's what the doctor. They're all the 13th doctor. Ruth isn't an alternative doctor. She isn't between Troughton and Pertwee. She actually is the 13th doctor.
Yeah, but there's a flaw there because she doesn't know what the Sonic is. She's got a classic TARDIS.
Yes, because she's splintered. There's different parts. She doesn't have full consciousness, just like Jodie Whittaker's doctor doesn't. That's why she doesn't remember anything about our past. Joe Martin. That's why Whittaker's even doctor doesn't remember certain things. It's all starting to add up. I'm telling you, this is what he's trying to do. But the thing that annoys me about it is that, okay, this would actually work if he fucking told us or gave us, instead of coming out with the rhetoric, well, I'm trying to destroy. I don't think he is trying. Look, I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I don't think he actually is trying to destroy canon. I think he was trying to be clever with Whittaker's doctor, and it just went the other way.
I think he is destroying. I think he is
maybe I'm being optimistic here, but if I was Chris Chibnall and this is what, if I wanted to do something and putting some of the facts together, and yet you're right, Lee, I'm putting some facts together and I'm getting 10. You're right. Okay, this is my theory. But what I'm saying is this would make logical sense. Right?
Yeah, but Chris Chibnall doesn't have logical sense.
Yeah, I do agree with you. But what we've seen so far, my theory, this theory right now that we're talking about, would make a lot of sense. It would actually fit in with
it's a good theory. It's a good idea. I just wish it were true.
Well, if it does end up being true, remember where you heard it. Right, and what's the date? Hold on, we'll get the date as well. And the date is
it's 27th of September 21:59.
Exactly 10 p.m. UK or Irish time. Okay, remember that. So I reckon that's what he's doing. I reckon Ruth is actually 13th Doctor, just like
I love
John.
your optimism there, Noel.
But that's of course. Oh, no way. And guess who's on the screen right now?
No.
On the telly, and I've just had to say Jodie Whittaker and what's her face? Olivia Colman. Yeah. Jodie looks miserable.
What's she on there for?
In this show, did she?
What's she on?
Broadchurch. Like, this is the fourth series. I think this is the one where she actually becomes the guidance counselor, which didn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't think she's in the physical state of mind.
Guys, it's okay.
Yeah, the fourth season of Broadchurch was actually good. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like that Jodie Whittaker was in. That's a lie. I have. I've watched Broadchurch. Black Mirror, that episode that she was in Black Mirror was an interesting episode. And to be honest with you, she did what she had to do in it. And I mean, she wasn't bad at what she had to do. I can't complain, but it was a good episode. Like, just as the Doctor, she's just all wrong for the role. It's just
I'm gonna duck out if that's okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna finish up now anyway. Listen, thanks for coming on, Gary, as usual, mate. We'll get you on again. We're back on Friday, as you know, anyway. So
thank you very much. Pleasure, guys.
No problem. Listen, you look after yourself.
Great chatting, Gary.
Right, that's Gary, and we're gonna head off now shortly. I'll just let you do your shout outs now in a second, but hold on. But that's what I think he could do. Now, that's what I think. Obviously, Lee and others, and I do believe, and I do agree with Lee and others as well. This is just something I'm throwing out there. Do I think he's clever enough to do it? Lee is probably right. No, they're not that clever. I'm not even a writer, and see, I came up with a
A much better solution than we're going to get, definitely.
So I mean, look, it's we'll see. It's going to be interesting. What's going to happen? But I can tell you now, it better be. It has to be. It really does. And I'm not just saying this to be bad, but the festive special, whenever they show it, will have to be something spectacular. Because I honestly do believe that Chris Chibnall has to make up for 2 pretty crappy years. I mean, okay, if we analyze both seasons, which we will on this chart, I think that's what we should do. So, analyze the two of them. But I'll give you a brief thing, right? You look at season 11, right? It's completely alien to anything that was Doctor Who. That's where the damage was done for me, right? That's where the damage was done. It wasn't done in Series 12. The damage was already done in Series 11.
Yeah.
By the time we came to Series 12, you could see that there was a genuine effort from to change things up and to kind of make it something resemble like what we remember Doctor Who to be. But it was too late, unfortunately, right? And it still didn't stop him from having these little digs, right? Now, Series 12 compared to Series 11 is an improvement. Now, that's not saying much because I rated Series 11 so low. So the improvement to me is not that vast, right? But it still was an improvement on Series 11, right? But he undone all that in the last 2 episodes, especially the last one. In a 2-minute, actually, no, he destroyed Doctor Who canon in 45 seconds.
Pretty much.
45 seconds.
Yeah. With a lazy montage and voiceover.
Yeah. So he better do my plan, because if he does my plan, I'm not saying fans will forgive him, because they won't, because he's still made a shit of it. But at least he can go away with the knowledge that he hasn't completely destroyed the show, and it's still salvageable, right? He goes down my route. If he goes down the route that everybody thinks, including myself, I'm just being a bit positive because I try to be. But if he goes down the route that everybody else thinks he's going to go down, and the route that I actually think he's going to go down, well then, there is no 60th anniversary happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I just don't see it, because why would
what's to celebrate?
Why didn't he put all that money and effort into it? I know people say it's paid for, that's fine, but why would they spend that money on that if the show is not even getting over 3 million people watching?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You don't get free money unless you get something back in return for that money. And I'm sorry, if you're making a show that no one is watching, that's throwing good money after bad.
Now,
so that's a bad investment. So they're not going to want more of the same.
Exactly,
because it's not going to sell. It's not going to get bums on seats watching it.
The overnights were 3.2 or something, and then the 28 consolidated figures just over 4 million.
Yeah, and we haven't seen the fallout of the time.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Exactly, you're right. So say we'll go with the first consolidated figures, right? Because they're probably the fairer figures, as you would argue. I would say not necessarily. It's the overnights that are more important, but we'll go with the consolidated, right? So just over 4 million, right? As Lee has rightly pointed out, the fallout of the Timeless Children we have seen play out online. Yeah. But we haven't seen it play out online when they show the next story.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens to be a festive special, right? If this doesn't even match, and I mean this, if this doesn't even match the Timeless Children, it's game over. It's game over, because even festive specials, Chibnall's, he's done one already, and it was the lowest rated. So remember that his first festive special was the lowest rated festive special to all the other festive specials that were shown, and that's a fact. That's not bending the facts. That's the truth. By far, it's been the worst one. All the papers reported on it. Everybody reported on it. There's no getting around this, right?
Yeah.
The figures prove it, right? And you mean to tell me that when this one comes around, that people's attitude is going to change, especially after what happened to Timeless Children, and all of a sudden it's going to get double the rates, or even say $1 million more than what it got last time round?
Not a fucking chance in
The
hell.
logic is, and it's logical to assume, because we haven't seen the backlash play out in the ratings, that this episode that's coming up next is going to be hit very hard, and it is, and you just have to prepare yourselves for it. Because here's the thing, and I'll say this: a lot of the J-bots, not Jodie Whittaker fans, I'm going to distinguish between the two from now on, but the J-bots are living in a bubble. They actually think that there'll be enough people to watch this. They're actually actively getting our Whittaker's name trending to try show BBC apparently that she's somehow popular. They're trying every little trick in the book. But here's the thing: when it comes to the ratings on Christmas Day, if they show a Christmas Day or New Year's Day, right? If they are not, as I said, if they don't beat the last festive special, or even the Timeless Children for that matter, it's game over. And forget the little bubble that you are living in, and you can spin it all you want. And spin it all you want. The facts will be there, and you won't be able to deny those facts. And then you will have to ask yourselves, do I really want to continue and support the regime that is obviously damaging the show, or will I come out and start calling this bull out? Right? And just because you call it out doesn't mean that you're going against all the things that you believe in. At the end of the day, Doctor Who's a sci-fi family show, right? Has a little bit of drama in there as well. We know that. Right, and under Moffat, we got that fairy tale crap.
Yeah, but it's not a fucking soap opera.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Like, it's become a soap opera now.
All I'm just saying, yeah, it's become a soap opera now, and that needs to stop. Go back to the tried and tested formula. Listen, they said it was tired. You don't get tired. Listen, if you're going for over 50 odd years, right, half a century, you're not tired.
If you want to create conversations in your drama, then write a soap opera. Don't bring it into Doctor Who.
Exactly. Yeah. And keep all your climate change nonsense to yourself as well. Yeah, we don't need that in Doctor Who and the Doctor looking directly at the screen.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hypocritical, the fact that they go on all these jaunts across to South Africa.
Yeah,
they talk about all the plastic in the sea while selling all this, well, not selling, but trying to sell all this plastic toy crap.
We brought that up.
Selling. So it just ends up in landfill.
South Africa, they flew to Series 11 and 12. Now, that would have been flights over and flights back. They also flew to Spain.
For the entire crew and cast.
Right. Okay, and they filmed in Sheffield, and they filmed a bit in Wales. Now, Wales and Sheffield, we don't really care because it's within their jurisdiction. But you talk about climate change, and they're flying to Spain, and they're flying to South Africa twice. Yeah, and they preach to us about plastic. Sure, most of that bloody merchandise is made of plastic.
Yeah, half of that's going to end up in the landfill.
See, this is the thing. We don't mind if you want to talk about those things. But not in Doctor Who. Go and do a program about climate change and talk about those issues, and let us actually just enjoy Doctor Who, enjoy the sci-fi, enjoy the scary stories, enjoy being thrilled. We're not getting that now. We, as I said, and I keep saying this, and this is the last time I'll mention it tonight because we're finishing up. But when we turn on the TV or we turn on a streaming service, we turn it on because we want to escape the life's pressures, the bullshit that's happening on the outside world. And for those couple of hours that we sit down and watch our favorite shows or movies, we want to be transported to those places. And for those couple of hours, we forget about our worries. We forget about our stresses. And, you know, it helps us with our mental well-being as well. But then when that stuff starts creeping into the stuff that we actually love, we're not getting escapism anymore. We're not able to escape the daily grinds of life because now they've decided that, oh no, let's put it in their shows that they watch as well. Let's put it in their movies. No, that's not what it's about. We have entertainment because of all of that other nonsense that goes on, because we need that escapism, because if we don't get it,
it's not a story they're telling. It's indoctrination. That's all it is.
Yeah,
That's
but
all
you
it
go
is.
insane as well. You need that breakaway. You know what I mean? So I would say my appeal to
How
Hollywood,
dare you?
all these
How
other
dare you?
organisations, feck her anyway. That young one is one of the biggest causes of all the crap that's going on right now with these activists. The same one, one of the some journalist was asking one of these climate change activists about Extinction Rebellion. I said, "But your flag is plastic." Right? The reporter kept saying, "Your flag is plastic. You don't really care," right? And was littering and everything, right? Your man grabbed your man's mic and threw his mic on the ground and got abusive. That's what Greta has done. She has actually militarized people when it's got made them more radical over this climate change nonsense, right? It's
Well, I
not.
mean, like history is littered with child saints. You know,
And
it's
by the way,
nothing
this
new.
is not a conspiracy theory. People out there are going to say, "Oh, it's a conspiracy, so you're one of these that don't believe in climate change." I didn't say that. This is a natural occurrence that happens with our climate every couple of thousand years or whatever it is. Scientists were even saying that, by the way, if you were to believe climate change in 1990, the UN released a report. Sorry, 1989, they released a report saying by 2012, London, the places like that would be underwater.
Hmm.
It's 2020.
2013, actually,
Yeah,
but
and
hey,
it's
he's counting.
2020. How come London hasn't flooded? How come Dublin isn't underwater? Actually, more importantly, how come Holland isn't? Because Holland is below sea level. Don't be giving me this bullshit. It's not climate change at all, right? It's just a natural occurrence that's happening, and all these companies and politicians and Greta and her parents, they're all scaremongering idiots.
We're actually overdue an ice age, a mini ice age, and the sun is actually in the process of
Yes,
going through a minimum. So
it is.
it's more than likely to
Yeah.
happen that it's going to get really cold.
Have you not
Really
noticed the
soon.
sun has changed colour? It used to be a real orange, but now it's a lighter yellow. Lee is right. The sun is it's a natural thing that happens.
No sunspot activity, which
Humans
means
just happen to be around this time. You know, we happen to be aware that it's happening, but you've got these idiots out there, right, saying, "Oh no, it's because of what you're doing to the earth." I'm not saying we shouldn't stop burning fossil fuels and all that. I think if we can go green, are all well and good, right? But here's the thing: even those green solutions cause more damage to the environment than the actual things that they complain about damaging the environment. So if we're going to do it, we have to get the balance right. You know what I mean? And people like Greta and our parents need to basically shut the fuck up and actually go home. Mind your own business and let us sort out the earth, right? And you should be ashamed of yourself bringing your daughter all around the world and she should be in school. Well, obviously maybe not because of the situation that we're in, but if this wasn't here, she should be in school.
well, it's probably in school that she got indoctrinated with
Oh
this
no,
nonsense
she's being
anyway.
homeschooled. She's
Yeah.
being
Well,
homeschooled.
they're as bad as
Educated by twats. That's what happened. She's
they're
being
not any better
educated by
now.
twats that were educated by twats that were educated by twats. All of this climate change, it's nonsense.
Nothing like an overeducated idiot.
It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. It is, right. It's a natural occurrence. We just happen to be here, and you know what? I don't care if the climate shifts. You know, it's not going to be as bad as people say. Sure, the Earth has already moved on its axis as well, which is another part of it, right? That's already happened, right? You look at the moon in the sky; it's slightly off. Why is it slightly off? Because the Earth has already shifted axis, right? Everything that's supposed to be happening is happening. It's not climate change. And all that weird clouds and the weird storms that you're getting, yeah, it's all manufactured by NASA. Even showed it. Jeremy Clarkson actually did a show. He went to NASA. They show you, they have these big machines that create clouds that then turn into rain and storms. They can create and manipulate the weather, right? So all the freaky weather that you're getting.
Can I say something? Actually, I did a few years ago. I was sat outside. It was a Sunday morning. The sun was out. It was a really hot day.
Yeah.
And we were sitting out in the garden for the whole day. And I was watching the sky as these planes really high up in the atmosphere were just spraying, crisscrossing the sky, and they were spraying it like a grid, like in a grid formation.
I bet you a few hours
these
later,
clouds.
Dark cloud there.
Yeah, dark clouds formed. They got bigger. They expanded and expanded and expanded. Got darker and darker and darker, and then it started to rain.
Yeah.
So I've seen it with my own eyes. All you need to do is sit outside for long enough, and you can see all this stuff going on. You know, it's not a conspiracy theory. We can see it in front of you, you know, with your own eyes. You know, just stop kidding yourselves. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, look at the chemtrail thing has been going.
I was very suspicious about all that until I saw it myself.
And they said it was water. But what are you spraying the atmosphere with water for? You
yeah, the cloud is made of water. And also, water vapor is the biggest driver of climate change.
And by the way, there is a difference between chemtrails and the other. What's it? Chemtrails and contrails, right?
Yeah.
Contrails disappear straight away. Chemtrails do exactly what Lee described. They stay there, they start spreading out, and then before you know it, then they turn into dark clouds. It's all weather manipulation, HARP, all of that. Listen, you can all think it's a conspiracy theory. NASA have actually even shown this big cloud machine. Jeremy Clarkson was standing beside it when they turned the fucking thing on, and he even says it. In a couple of hours, that will turn into a cloud and there'll be rain 50 miles away, right? So they can manipulate the weather. They have that technology. So all these freak storms that you're getting that are the strongest since 50 years and all of this, or 100 years or whatever, they're all manufactured. They're proper storms. They just make sure that they're more powerful than they would have been, right? You see all the tropical storms that hit America lately. They're all powerful. That's not by accident. Did you even see the storms that actually moved off course and then all of a sudden veered back on course and then hit? Yeah, that didn't happen by accident either. They know what they're doing. People need to open up. There's a lot of stuff going on around us. And that's why I want to watch Doctor Who and shit, so I don't have to think about all of that, because you go crazy if you think of all of that crap. And there are some good videos on the subject on YouTube. I know people criticize YouTube sometimes, but there's some documentaries, great documentaries about this kind of stuff. And there's even amateur videos of people that members.
Well, people have collected the rainwater after seeing all that, like what I saw with my own eyes. They collected the rainwater and then they took it for studying, and they found like things like barium, aluminium, all sorts of things in there, toxic stuff, you know, not good stuff. So why? I mean, I've seen it happening, so no one can tell me it doesn't happen. I've seen it happen. Yeah. And when you get people saying that they've taken this rainwater and found aluminium and barium and things like that in there,
by the way, you see the snow that doesn't melt?
Mm-hmm.
Have you any of you seen that? Here, also, we'll finish with this video, actually. I'm going to show you snow that doesn't melt, right? With a flamethrower, right? Now, this person will tell you if it's the right video. Will tell you that it was clear, the weather was fine, and there was these chemtrails, right? And then, before you know it, they got this freaky snow. Right, there's a 6-minute version, but we'll go with the 1 minute, will we? We'll just go with that. This probably won't take. So he's wearing a Flash shirt, so we'll go with this guy because we like the Flash. No trailers. Stop! Don't! I'll get copyrighted. They do this deliberately. They do. I'm telling you, they do. They do it deliberately, man. Every stream. By the way, the 2 videos I tried to put up last night, man. They limited them, and I said, all right, well, I'll upload them, but I'm not showing them to everybody until second they monetize them. They're doing it to me every bloody time. And to be quite honest with you guys, you know, right now I'm kind of need the revenue from the videos that I do, so YouTube are screwing me over. So from now on, if I say I'm putting up a video and you don't see it for a couple of hours, more than likely it's being limited, and I won't put it up until it's monetized. You know, I do put up a lot of videos as well. That's why I do the music videos with the copyright music on it, because they don't get monetized. And people say that I do my videos for clicks and for money and all of this. That's why I do those music videos. And I do those articles like that, because I don't want to be monetizing every single video that I do. So I like to put the music videos up for you. And I know some of you like the music that I pick. If you haven't seen me Nicola Bryant video, you just have to check that out. Rabbi obviously was a huge
I'm sure Rabbi's got that on repeat.
Yeah. He said it was the best ever video. Best video ever. Right, so here is snow. Right, so this is the new. Everybody knows what snow looks like, feels like. You know what snow feels like in your hand. Now, the last time we had snow over here, I think it was before Cheryl moved over. Remember, we had that big blizzard, the beast from the east, that basically covered the whole of Ireland. There's lovely pictures actually of taken by NASA, satellite pictures taken by NASA of Ireland completely blanket with snow. I never saw it. Was beautiful, but I have to say it was horrible. Just remember, some of you were giving out to me because I was doing videos for you on Facebook and all, and I was actually in the height of the storm up on the roof in the apartment block, and people were so mad at me. But I was picking up snow, and it was like it was a weird texture, right? And this is the point. The snow melts. Snow is supposed to be water. So explain to me why this shit doesn't work.
Hey guys, what's up? I know that everybody out there has the video of the snow turning black when you put a lighter to it. I'm going to tell you why that is and how it works. As you can see, this snow.
What the hell?
Not turning black. It's just melting. Now watch this. Same snow.
Right. Oh, is he going to dispel this whole thing now? What a video that actually dispels me whole young.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh, I did. No, I did. This is not.
This is my moment.
This is. Yeah. Isn't it? It's going to melt.
Oh, shush! Please let me enjoy this.
It's going to go. It's going to go black.
That's hilarious.
It is going black. Oh, you pig. Oh, no. No.
Bless.
No. Okay, right. Okay, that explains that. Right, fair enough. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. But hold on, because.
This is like the best day ever.
No, it's
the
not.
J-bots are going to put this all over Twitter now. You watch.
Doing now.
Brilliant.
Oh, now you deserve that now,
It's
for
like a miracle.
is it?
Oh.
Do you know what else is a miracle? That'll put you out there the next time there's a blizzard and I'll make a snow. Right, listen, okay, that video obviously dispelled what I was saying, but listen, look, I know. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna have some of that. I'm finishing up now, and we'll. There's plastic and chemicals in the snow, so there's the snow. But watch what he does.
Please tell me you're live streaming right now.
Yeah, we're still. She doesn't care, man.
She really doesn't, does she?
No, she doesn't. I know.
Oh, praise Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus is not going to help you.
Right, what are we looking at?
Right, so he's born in the snow and he's going to show that it's going to go black.
Yeah.
Or is this another video now where the snow is just melting? Ah, not again. I'll do it again. Right, listen, I just had to pick in the worst two videos. I forget about it. When it comes to, yeah, I just don't.
Confirmation bias is a terrible feeling.
Hold on, no, but it isn't melting there, though. It's not melting. There, he is born in it, and it's not melting, though. He's right. Look, it's not actually melting. It's not going black, but it's not melting either. Look.
I haven't even taken chemistry.
Haha. So there's one that does actually prove me thing. It's not melting. Look.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying there's not real snow out there, but some of the snow that we
I'm
get
sure
is.
if you go through 100 videos, you'll find at least one person that will agree with
Don't
you.
eat the yellow snow, says Matthew Pounder. No, but puff food.
That's the ha
Yeah.
ha. So saith our Lord
I'm gonna head
Asda.
off because I'm gonna watch a bit of Gogglebox with the wife now and actually hide me head in shame for that. I'm only messing. Listen, look, I gave you one video that showed it didn't melt and one that it didn't balance. There you go. That's what I'm all about on this channel is balance.
Oh.
Back off, you woman. You're making me look weak.
No, you're managing to do that by yourself now.
No. Tin foil confirmed.
You didn't have
Snowflakes.
to tell me for trying to prove it. No, you'd be fine right now.
It's all right. It's all good. It's all good. Listen, I like an all good conspiracy theory. I'll do it myself and I'll prove it. Right. Next time that it snows here, I'll get me bleed blowtorch out. Right. Go ahead. What we'll do is because I'm finishing up now. So what you call it? I'll let you give a quick shout out. Use our channels. Lee, I know your social medias. And stuff. So we'll start with you first, Daniel. What have you got up and coming on the channel, on your channel this week, pal?
Well, I don't have anything up and coming. As as particular that particular each bit like next but next I'm back on next he come back on with Charlotte and David the travels through time. We're going to be reviewing the new fan audio series and discussing that, and then on the 13th of October we're going to be reviewing episode 2 as episode 2 of the fan audio as well, and then on November the 2nd bringing Bill on it moving back onto my channel to review Doctor Who and the Pirates, which is a big Finnish audio from the early big Finnish if you guys would like to listen to the story before
I've listened to. I think it's one of those that I fell asleep to.
before we dissect this abomination live on stream, it's on Spotify. In terms of my social medias, you can join my Facebook group, the Annuals and YouTube Hub to help promote your channels, or just to stay up to date with all the channels, because everybody that you know is in that Facebook group, and you can also follow me on Twitter at Celtic the Annual 22 if you fancy it as well, guys. But yeah, that's and also as well. Sorry, just before I forget, you'll probably hear me on Friday in the Tardis Zone talks too. So subscribe to Noel's channel and probably Ian should actually set up his own channel now. So yeah, that's me.
Daniel, Celtic or Doctor Who?
Oh, you can't ask a Scottish man that. That's a horrible question to ask any Scottish man.
Evil bastard. I would say I would say Celtic.
You can't ask a Scottish man that. That's like asking to choose between his wife and his car. He's got to choose his car. Go ahead. Go ahead. Brilliant. Right, go for it, Lee.
I don't know what to say after that. I've been put in my place. Right, fair enough. Yeah, you can not find me on Twitter. You can not find me on YouTube. You can not find me anywhere but on the Tardis Zone, and occasionally whoring myself out to various other channels. Oh, and there's Teddy. Teddy's my manager. And he's also my producer. What else? Yeah, you can find me on Parler, even though I haven't really bothered checking it for a while because you can't send people private messages, so I don't see the bloody point. I've just been beamed up. Yeah.
Noise to go by.
It's been beamed up there. Yeah. What else can I say? Yeah, I do 3D stuff and audio stuff. So if you need any audio, music, or sound or design,
promote your work, man. Promote your work.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're looking for a rebrand or anything like that, or little intro videos, check out his work. Listen, I'm gonna put a bit of his work up now. When we finish this show, you will see the little intro that he put together. Now the software, I just actually want to point it out though. The software that was using was the first time. He's obviously it was his first time using it, and he did this a few months back now. So he's been obviously using this this software now a long time now, and obviously with using the software obviously a bit longer, he obviously has a better knack. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with this trailer. What I'm just trying to say is obviously if you get used to something, your work is going to improve. And his work certainly has, because he's worked on another trailer for me, which I will release for you later on. I'm going to throw it up on Twitter now in a few minutes if you want to check it out on Twitter, but I will put it up on YouTube as well. But check out his work. If you're looking for anybody to rebrand your channel, I would highly recommend Lee. He is the guy for you to do it. And reasonable prices as well. I think I can say that.
Yeah, because I'm still learning. Obviously, the more I learn, Teddy, the more I learn, obviously the rates go up because you sort of start getting more competent and more more involved, and it takes longer because you then start sort of going a bit further than you can do when you don't know everything enough. So yeah, anyway, so get in whilst it's still cheaper.
That's
it ain't gonna break the bank, I'll tell you now.
That's it, man. And check it out. It's well worth checking out. Listen, we've got some amazing talented people in this community, and especially here on this channel, we seem to have a lot of talented people that are on the panels and in the chat. It's absolutely amazing. And you know, and listen, yeah, it's always better to go to some people like Lee, for the simple fact is they're fans as well themselves. Remember that. So you know that their heart and soul is going to go into every piece of stuff that they do. I mean, imagine doing a trailer for someone and realizing that you messed up somewhere, but having to undo all that work and start from scratch. When Lee was using this particular technology at first, that's exactly what happened when he was doing
multiple times. I just start from
scratch.
Yeah,
and to have the patience that he did, and then to produce this, and you will see it yourselves, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, I will say, obviously, StreamYard doesn't do it justice because it's StreamYard, right? But it is up on YouTube. When you actually go into the channel, I actually have it as the channel trailer. So it's right there. You can watch it on high def. I think Lee even has it that you can watch it on 4K. So
yeah, but because I can't upload in 4K because you need to do something. I can't remember you need to verify your account to a degree. I don't know. So
all right. Well, it's there
in
for you.
HD.
Go and check it out. Even on high def, it's spectacular. So check it out. Right, I've blown enough smoke up everybody's ass tonight except me own. So here we go. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to all my to my channel, all my social media links. We are back tomorrow, which is Monday. Back on Wednesday, and then the weekend we are back with classic and new Who stream and tweet alongs.
Yeah, we'll be doing Planet of Evil.
Yeah, Planet of Evil on Saturday, and then on Sunday the return. And if you haven't seen me little trailer on Twitter, I don't want to really blow smoke up my own pee hole, but I actually did it. I thought I did a good job. I actually added a little bit more music. So as you know, Rabbi would send me a trailer, and then I always add my own little bit to it. But instead of just using the normal Doctor Who music that I use for this trailer, because it was a season 3 and we were looking into the future, what we're going to be watching, I added a special bit of music instead to the start of it, and I put a little bit of dialogue as well before I show you the trailer. So I actually put a little bit of effort into this. I'm not saying I don't put any effort into anything, but what I'm saying is I wanted to make sure that I could give you the best trailer that I could give you. After I got it off Rabbi, I like to kind of put my own logo on it and stuff like that, because obviously it's on my channel. But believe it or not, I can't throw it up on YouTube because I put it up. It was ready to go, and I was about to hit the public button, and next of all I see blocked. And I'm like, all right. So I went in, had a look. Not only is this video blocked in one territory, it's blocked worldwide. So I can't use it. So it's weird. It's up on Twitter, and it's actually even up on Facebook, right? I've put it in a few groups on Facebook, but YouTube won't let me put it up. So unless I've said it to Rabbi anyway, I mean, he worked on it anyway. I don't know if he'll be, but it looks like he'll have to not use that one for some weird reason. HBO, I think that's where he got the trailer from and added his own thing to it. But yeah, them for some reason have actually put a worldwide copyright check. So if you have used old clips before from HBO in your Doctor Who content, more than likely it's probably being blocked worldwide.
Well,
now.
I find it very strange that you get so many channels who seem to be the ones that are more critical than others, and then you get these other channels who aren't critical at all, who do all these fan-made trailers all the time, and they never get taken down.
Exactly. That's what annoys me. Well, anyway, there you go. That's the situation with that trailer. And listen, I'd even play it by it's here, but if I did, the stream would be blocked. To be honest with you, it was actually lucky that it wasn't a copyright strike. Now, that's not Rabbi's fault or anything like that. This is just a ridiculous thing that YouTube keep adding.
It's not consistent
on platform
across the board.
Keep doing it. It's like it's not copyright if it's already up there, right? And it's public and
trailers are fair use. I mean, I don't understand it.
They should allow it. I'm actually adding to it as well. They always say when you're using someone else's work that it's important that you put. This is why a lot of channels get flagged, right? But if you put your own mark on someone's artwork that they've already done, well, then it's classed as new.
But it's a trailer. I mean, for heaven's sake, it's fair use. It should be fair use. When the trailers get so problematic, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
So I can't use it, but it is up on Twitter. So if Rabbi does manage to get me one that we can use, I will do the same thing that I did for the Twitter one, because I actually like the way I put it together, and I think it does deserve to be seen on YouTube. I'm actually pissed, to be honest with you. I actually did really think about what I wanted to say, and You know, I had a nice little intro for you with the music. And the music did get copyright claim, but all my trailers get a copyright claim anyway.
Crazy.
We don't make money on them.
Look, when are they going to realize this model does not work? It
I know.
doesn't work. They could actually monetize it where not only do musicians get paid, which is
Exactly.
which is a great thing, but also you get paid as well
Yeah, we
for
all
promoting
get
the music.
Exactly. We all get a piece of the pie because what we're doing is we're promoting our work as well. I'm not even infringing on anybody's copyright. I'm actually showing my love for something. We're actually promoting something on the channel because we're going to be doing the whole of Series 3. We're going to be talking about our product. I just don't get it, but you're right. YouTube are killing their own platform, but it's not all their fault. It's because of all this nonsense that's going on. They keep getting all these new bleeding things they have to keep putting in. And reluctantly, YouTube are doing, and they know deep down it's killing them. But until all this madness dies down, until YouTube can actually control its own platform again, it's going to be this way. And by the way, new rules apparently come in January. So anybody that has a channel that's monetized, apparently now in certain countries you're going to need a code or something to be paid, and if your country doesn't do that code, you don't get paid for your channel. Your channel will not be monetized, it will be demonetized. So there's a possibility in January that this channel will be demonetized, but we'd still continue to do what we do. I might have to sign up to other stuff because, as I said, my situation right now with Cheryl when it comes to finances is actually quite dire. And I know everybody's gone through it, but they've actually taken money off us. So I have to go. We've appealed it. We've lost now. So I have to go through all the other processes now. So, you know, yeah, it's going to be a tough few months. But as I said, we've got money put by, so we're not that bloody stupid. But hopefully I'll get it fixed in the next couple of weeks because this I can't carry on this way. So if YouTube kill me channel, you know, I mean, I'll still do it and I'll still do my content. I'm not going to stop. It's not what I was here for, but I will say it does kind of help, especially in the situation that I'm in right now. But we will keep going on this channel no matter what happens. I mean, there's Tipster. He got demonetized and he still continues to do. He's got thousands and thousands of subscribers, so why would he let them down? So he continues to do his videos and he's not making a cent off them. You know, because you don't get super chats either when you're demonetized.
It's not right.
Yeah, it's not. And the reason why he got demonetized was because he was a channel that basically called out a certain Scottish lady that Daniel knows who I'm talking about. But apparently she was swiping anime episodes and putting them on our YouTube channel. That was do you know why we're getting all these ridiculous rules? Is because of people like the person I'm actually talking about. And Tipster was one of those that exposed this person of what they were doing. And they still continue to do it to this day. But no consequences for them. But
naturally.
But a 1 minute,
isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it? But a 1 minute trailer that I put up. And it's not right, guys. I'm off. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget, as I said, check out Daniel's channel, all my guests, Lee as well. If you want them to do a bit of work, look out for this trailer. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much. And I know Chris left. Chris left a while ago. Thank you, Chris. They liked someone says ready to go. Someone liked the Republica video. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I some people have complained about the music videos, but the only reason why I do them is because, you know, obviously I do monetize my streams because obviously that's I'm there for monetization, so why not take advantage of it, you know? And I get super chats as well. So when I do the article videos, some of them and most of them I don't monetize. I deliberately use pop songs that I know that will get a copyright claim, so my video doesn't get monetized, because you contribute a lot to the channel already, and that's my little way of saying kind of thank you while also keeping you informed. But as you said as well, I'm doing little videos as well. where I'm talking in them as well, because some people think that I should actually do a bit more narration on some of my videos. And yeah, I'm certainly starting to look into that. I'm not very good, as I said, I'm an amateur. I never thought I'd ever do something like this. To be honest, I'm not, it might be a chatterbox, but believe it or not, being on a public platform like this, talking like this, never wanted it. I'd rather just wreck my wife's head and my family's head and everybody else's head with me chatterbox, and not all of yours as well. But there you go. That's what happened. Chris Chibnall dragged me out, and I had to say something. But listen, good night. Look after yourselves. Enjoy your week. Stay safe as well. And you never know, we might have some there, because we're coming into October now soon. We should be getting some, maybe more details on the whole Comic-Con and nonsense. Does anybody even know if this, because there's still debate actually, is it pre-recorded or is this going out live?
I think it's actually just a pre-record again.
Oh, jeez, she can't even do it.
No, of course not.
And because you didn't think on that, but even enough to put it out, they're going to actually.
Yeah, exactly, Daniel. You're right. This is what
Stunning and brave. Yeah,
but
really.
Another thing as well, though. See, they won't put it out live. Now we don't know if it is. Daniel is saying it is a pre-record, but we won't obviously know until the actual day. I suppose, unless it's actually being categorically said that it is a pre-record. I don't know, because I haven't read that anywhere. But if it is a pre-record, it just goes to show you, this is why we have a problem with this production team as well. They're very standoffish. A pre-record's not good enough. We want live.
Because I know it's shit.
But there you go. Right, we could debate this all night, but we'll be back tomorrow to debate that. More about the BBC controversy with all the chanting there. That was actually very good to look at. And we'll have plenty of other stuff to talk about. I'm sure there'll be articles that'll pop up. I'm sure Jodie Whittaker will probably come out and tell us that she's Santa Claus next or something. It is weird. And all those people defending her, saying that she didn't say she was gender neutral. Well, she's clearly, followed it up. She has. And it's kind of, it annoys me that she's pandering, because she's not gender neutral. She never was, never will be.
You can't be gender neutral and a feminist. I'm sorry, that just doesn't work.
Exactly. And with that, I'm going to say good night, because you cannot be gender neutral and a feminist, and that's what that's our motto now.
I said it right from the start.
Right, I'm going to leave you now. Good night. Enjoy your week. Stay safe, guys, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. And please do look after yourselves, because out there are localized lockdowns happening. Just please stay safe, no matter what you do. Just
Third Doctor says she's personality neutral. Brilliant.
Well, here's the trailer. See you later. I'll drop the new trailer for the Tardis Zone talks later on. I'll see you after, guys. Bye. Oh, it'd be good if I pressed the button.
Boom.